Live at Coletco for Tuesday night's live Facebook record sale and the first live Facebook sale of the week. The new week has begun. I'm going to hold Kiss up here for a few more seconds. I'm going to let a couple of those first comments come in from Craig and Carlene. And there they are, Craig and Carlene, just like clockwork. And then I'm going to start getting this shared, and I ask you to do the same thing. I feel very good about tonight's show. It's the first one in a long time. We're not only starting on time, but we have a unbelievable amount of new records to show you, an auction, etc., etc. So there's Kiss. I'll let everybody drool over that for a few minutes. Let me go ahead and whip my phone out, and we'll start getting this shared. So we've got, first let me get it shared in our groups. And let me get this kind of pinned up here. I think that'll be good for tonight. Enough space for our auctions, enough space to show stuff here. And let me switch over to my profile so I can get it shared everywhere. If you're watching on Facebook, there's an arrow right here that says share. If you can click that for me and share that to your personal page or just about anywhere else that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. You can also hit it and send it to direct messages, or you can send it to people directly, like if you know somebody specifically you might want to share it to, or you can go here to the group and the group share, and you can share it in a whole lot of records, which I've already done, so don't worry about sharing it there. And there's a couple other groups that I usually share it to. I'm going to share it to that one, and I'm going to share it to this one. So they're shared in those. And now the other thing I have to do is copy the link. So I promised everybody I would share the link right here. I've got that copied, and a couple of times, sometimes I do hot post, like I did today. I just posted it about an hour ago. Quick little teaser of 3 or 4 records, even though we're going to be showing possibly hundreds tonight, if not thousands. And I comment the link there, so if anybody sees that later, they can also see it. And there's Bob Rigers. Who is that, Bob? Is that supposed to be Bob Ross? Bob just put a picture of Bob Ross in the comments. And let me share it here. And then the last place, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a way you can help us out on there. And let me click on it myself and see how it looks. So if you're watching on YouTube, there's the chat, of course. If you hit that little thumbs up button, I'm going to do it myself. That really helps. That tells people, hey, I like this video, and because it's records and we're a record kind of page, hopefully everybody that's interested in records will see that on YouTube. So there's that. Let me copy that link now, and I'm going to share that over to our Instagram story. So let me close out of that. Oh my gosh, no, I didn't change the title. Okay. Didn't change the title, so my bad. Didn't change the title. We'll have people hop on all night and say our title's wrong, but that's okay. Let's see. Let me do this. We're going to do link, paste, live now, and let's go my stories. Okay, we should be good now. So first thing, let's go to comments. So I get everybody's comments. Now, I can officially see everybody's comments right now. So if you've seen anything before, I have not seen it. I'm going to go ahead and put up, if you've asked me anything or anything important, I have not seen it. If you want to send that again. I'm not going to go back through that crate. That's a crate of stuff from prior weeks. Tanner, all the pre-orders are on the Word document. And we've got a lot of killer new vinyl to go through. Restocks, waiting list, pre-sales, etc. So let me see what we have here. Yep. Let me start with this crate right here. Nice bin of new vinyl. Let's do that. Let's do that right now. Okay. Just got my first record from you yesterday. It was pristine. That's our favorite word, pristine. Absolutely pristine. You're going to be hearing me say that a lot when I start putting up some of tonight's Japanese records. Let's see here. Did you see my DM Facebook about wanting a Rush Signals? I have not. Tanner may have, but I have not seen that, Dave. Do you mind scribing what's in the Rush box set? The Rush box set comes, I think, with 3 lithographs. It has a poster. It's the LP and maybe one other piece of memorabilia. Brad, I actually did a YouTube video. I unboxed that and showed it live, what it looks like. So actually, if you want to take a minute right now and go watch that, it's about a 6-minute video. Or if you want to watch it after the sale, I'm sure we can dig up that link and share that to you. I did an actual video of me opening one of those up where you can see exactly the way it looks like when you get one. And those should be 200 gram. No one has said that they're not yet. They should be 200 gram. And did I miss anything else? If I have, yes, the emails. Invoices will start going via email for the most part. So that's what we're doing. Email for your invoices. It's not spam. You might want to check your spam to make sure it hadn't gone there, but if we can send them via email, it's very automated. We can hit one button and everybody gets an email instead of having to send all those individually. So, okay, so let's go through this first crate of new vinyl. When we get to some stuff, the Rush family tree, there it is. I knew there was 3 pieces of memorabilia in there. So Brad, it's essentially the album and then 3 pieces of Rush memorabilia. Technically 5 counting the photo inserts, so it's just a poster and some inserts, but it's pretty cool. So if you have any issues with your invoices, you can send us a message. You can send us a message, or you can email us. Yeah, any invoice corrections, you can still message us. So, okay, let's get started. I'm going to start selling records. So any administrative comment or any administrative or technical questions from here on, I may or may not answer. So, just FYI. We have The Cult, Love. This is on black vinyl. If you've been waiting for this album, we finally have some in that I can sell you. This is The Cult, Love, and this is black vinyl. Originally, it came out on red vinyl. I thought I had plenty pre-ordered. I didn't, and then I was allocated, and for some reason, we didn't get near as much as I don't think we should have, but everybody's been settling for black. I've got them in stock. All the waiting lists have been fulfilled. I'll read it off in just a second. And that is The Cult, Love, 1985, $31.99. I've got 2, 4, 6. I got 7 of those left. Primus selling the Seas of Cheese. Primus is $36.99. Selling the Seas of Cheese is $36.99. Overkill, Under the Influence. The classic album, Half Speed Master on yellow marbled vinyl. That is Overkill, Under the Influence, $34.99. Pussifer, this is Conditions of My Parole. I had a waiting list or a special request for somebody on this one. Didn't realize we didn't have it back in stock yet. So Pussifer is $41.99. That is Conditions of My Parole. Gatefold, and that is 2LP. Mike Vandergits, first sale of the night and of the week. The Cult, Love. That's live. We've actually already tagged and pulled a bunch of records already for tonight. All these pre-orders. Look at all the Warrant Cherry Pies. Oh my gosh. Soundgarden's, Cults. So the waiting list for Cult was, let's see, I think that one got separated somehow, Tanner. Maybe, no, here it is. That is Jamie Butler, Greg Preston, Christina Sotar, Jay Condi, George Buchanan, Joe Frias, Kevin Jordan, James Bragg, Greg Rogers, Chris Kirkley, Randy Scarborough, John Sheehan, and Martin Pryor. That's everybody who got a Cult, Love, that didn't get one on this past week's invoice. Iron Maiden Killers, $36.99. Iron Maiden Killers, $36.99, new and sealed. We have 2 of those. This is a Marilyn Manson live unofficial. Sweet Dreams Baby, Sydney Broadcast, $19.99. Marilyn Manson, I only have 1 of those, and I think that's the only one I could get, but we will take a waiting list if we need to. Marilyn Manson, $33.99, and here's a live Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses Unplugged, the acoustic broadcast recordings, 1993. Guns N' Roses Unplugged. That's from Parachute Records. That's a 2LP colored vinyl unofficial, $39.99 for GNR. System of a Down, Mesmerize. System of a Down is $28.99. System of a Down, Mesmerize, $28.99. And Lynyrd Skynyrd's Greatest Hits. This is called Lynyrd Skynyrd's Innards. And I believe, even though we've had three different waiting lists for different Lynyrd Skynyrd collections. There was one for Lynyrd Skynyrd Icon, and then there was one for Greatest Hits, which is what I've been calling this one. And that was, let me find it, Lynyrd Skynyrd Greatest Hits, Wendy Pierce. Wendy Pierce, you was on the waiting list for that. That was Lynyrd Skynyrd's Greatest Hits. Okay, back up the top, we pulled Mike Vandergit's Cult. John Ambrosic was first to the Marilyn Manson unofficial. If anybody else wants one of those, just let me know. I'll put you on their waiting list. Chris DeMoss on Guns N' Roses. Chris is actually somewhere here in the store. Where's he at? In the back? I think he's in the back. He's in the back shopping, and he is buying records. He's double dipping right now. Live in the store, buying, and in the back. Eric S., you were second on Marilyn Manson. I'll put you on a waiting list. Jacob Smith on Guns N' Roses, and John Sheehan on Guns N' Roses. That's so to Jacob Smith and John Sheehan. We had a long-time follower and customer in town from Texas. Obviously, like I said, long-time customer, wanted to come by and see the shop. You don't get to Tennessee very often. I said, absolutely. Not often, you know, people watch us from all over the country, don't really ever get to see the shop. So I was like, absolutely. Stacy said, hi, Chris. He's in the back digging through some bins right now. System of a Down, Mesmerize, $28.99. System of a Down, Mesmerize, $28.99. My husband's at the store. He's here. He's here. Where did I get to? Iron Maiden. So we were sold out of Guns N' Roses. If anybody else wants that album on that waiting list, let me know. There was Lynyrd Skynyrd. And then another Greatest Hits is Ozzy Osbourne, Memoirs of a Madman. This is a 2LP Ozzy Osbourne Greatest Hits. I hadn't had this. We do have one in the bin, but I hadn't brought one out for new arrivals in quite some time. That's all of the essential Ozzy albums, or songs. Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, Flying High Again, Over the Mountain, Bark at the Moon. I've got one. I think I've got another stray one in, and then I have one in our bin. So I haven't had this in quite some time. I hadn't brought it out in new arrivals. I figured, I've sold a bunch of these. I figured there were some new people watching. Felix Quintala wants one of those, and Mike Massey wants one as well. Mike Massey wants one as well. So I have one more in the Ozzy bin, and then we'll probably need to take a waiting list for that one. Luckily, it's Tuesday night. So anything Tuesday night, I know for sure, if I'm only ordering one of something and I'm taking a waiting list, that means there's a high possibility, very high, that I can get more. And I only ordered one, basically to take orders on them, and then I'll order a few more for the store. So this is Ozzy's Greatest Hits, Memoirs of a Madman. It even has No More Tears on it. Fantastic. That is $44.99. That one's going to go to Felix. Mike, I know I have another one here in the store, so that one will go to Mike Massey. Jerry Stone on the waiting list, and Ozzy is $44.99. Ozzy is $44.99. Great White Recover. This is red and white split colored vinyl. Great White Recover is $31.99. And Bob Marley and the Wailers, Kaya. Bob Marley, and that was a waiting list. Susie Breedlove, I've already got one of those pulled for you. Bob Marley, Kaya, I've already got one of those pulled, and this one goes to Colin Butler. Boy, Colin's fast on those Bob Marleys. Got a restock of Kiss Alive, $49.99. This is the 2014 U.S. version of Kiss Alive, $49.99. And a restock of Queen, News of the World. And I think there was one person waiting on that. The half-speed master it was, Greg Hagewood. That will be on this next invoice for you. I have two more copies of Queen, News of the World. Queen, News of the World. Those are $33.99 half-speed masters. Kenny Wayne Shepherd. We actually had to order one of these for a replacement for somebody. They were in stock and they were on sale. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple. We didn't have any left in the store. Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Trouble Is 25. This is on cream-colored vinyl. They only made 1,000 of them too, and they're still in stock. So there can't be that many more left. This is $34.99 for Kenny Wayne Shepherd. James C. Jones and Chris DeMoss. Those are sold and sold. If anybody else wants one, let me know, because that was the only two I had, not counting the one we pulled for a replacement. Ozzy, patient number 9. This is the alternate cover. Todd McFarlane. The Todd McFarlane alternate artwork cover, which I like this a lot better than the other one they use. That's a really cool cover. Of course, special guest on here, Jeff Beck, what I was just trying to say. Eric Clapton, Taylor Hawkins, Tony Iommi, the original Black Sabbath guitarist, of course, Mike McCready of Pearl Jam, Chad Smith, Zach Wilde, Robert Trujillo, or however you say his last name, which is the current bass player for Metallica. That is $48.99. Patrick Lear on the waiting list for Kenny Wayne Shepherd. You've got that. Chris DeMoss on the Ozzy, patient number 9. Todd McFarlane cover. That's sold to Chris. And we have Colin got Kaya. I was about to say, Colin, I think you got at least one of all the Bob Marleys last week. So Colin needs to put back the Bob Marley Kaya. I thought I had these back ordered, but just by chance I caught them in stock. This is an unofficial. It's Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged. It's a Smashing Pumpkins acoustic, $36.99. And Trista Ward, I don't know if you're watching, but I had a waiting list for Trista Ward from months and months ago. Just by chance, I caught these in stock, and this is $36.99. I've got 3 more. It's essentially the Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged. Is that supposed to be Billy? Boy, he looks a lot different there with hair, doesn't he? I'm used to seeing him bald and all spooky looking. Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged. Those are $36.99. Bob Marley Kaya. That's still available if anybody wants it. Mitchell Thomas on Smashing Pumpkins. Tony Doyle on Smashing Pumpkins. Boy, say that 3 times fast. And Scott Smith on Smashing Pumpkins. Let's see here. I had a question about Kaya. Yes. The Kaya is one of the Tough Gong made in Jamaica. These are actually pressed in Kingston, Jamaica. They're numbered on the back. I've got 1 copy of Kaya. I think that's the only one I have in stock right now. Ozzy, patient number 9, is not on colored vinyl. That's black vinyl, alternate artwork. Speaking of Ozzy, No More Tears, $44.99. Ozzy, No More Tears. That is $44.99. That's a 2 LP. I can't believe it. Of course, when this album originally came out, we ordered 150 of them back. I think that was October of 2021. And we finally sold them out, I think. It didn't take too long, but we had those 150 for a while. And now I didn't have any left in store, so there's a new restock of the actual No More Tears album, $44.99. Cameron Nance wants Kaya. That's only if whoever asked about it passed. Tony Doyle asked about it first. And I can get more of these, so let's put Tony down for that, and then Cameron Nance and Kevin Squires on a waiting list. As of last night, I still could get those. And this is a new release from Music on Vinyl. Fishbone. I've got 3 of them. They're $44.99. There was a pre-order for that. Fishbone was Brent Rabley. Brent got 2 of those. Josh Ragland, Jay Condi, Brandon Jackson, Vin Dandy, George Buchanan, Tommy Flowers, and Kyle Morgan. That is Fishbone Truth and Soul, the 35th anniversary edition. They've pressed 1,000 of these on red vinyl, and these are $44.99. $44.99 Fishbone. Auctions. I usually start auctions after the first crate. And that was the first crate, so let's get auctions started. Ozzy is $48.99, Stacy. $48.99. Let's do this right here. Amazing. Kiss Alive. That's Kiss Alive number 1. 2 LP, you guessed it, pristine Japanese pressing. Wow. Take a look at this. This should be in the Smithsonian. This is a piece of Americana, even though it's pressed in Japan. This is going to be a $75 start. It's a top copy. It's a top Japanese pressing. There's the insert, 2 LP, near mint and pristine. Really nice cover. Almost no signs of wear. Nice obi. There's your gatefold. Very nice. Kiss Alive, $75 start. We've got 8 crates of new vintage arrivals tonight. I've got about 6 crates of new vinyl. And we have an entire crate of Japanese vinyl to go through. Lots of vintage tonight. I've picked up 2 collections recently. The stuff I got from that shed, which we've cleaned and processed, And then I went to Old Hickory last night. None of those records have even been touched. Those we'll start working on tomorrow. Everything from that collection at Old Hickory, which was some great records. Back up to the top, we've got Jerry Stone for an Iron Maiden Killers. There's Jerry Stone for an Iron Maiden Killers, and Stacy Metternich wants a waiting list on Ozzy, Patient number 9, with a Todd McFarlane artwork. Dave Collins, I've got your Rush signals pulled. By the way, we're still selling these on Discogs for $59.99. I'm selling them to y'all for $36.99. $36.99. I don't have very few left, and that's going to be the end of those until they press more. I probably have less than 5 left, and I don't know how many I have active on Discogs. I probably need to go ahead and take them off because they were still selling as of last night on there. So we sell about one every few days on there for $60. Chris DiLorenzo's at 75 on Kiss. Going once, going twice. Tony Doyle says he'll take Love too. Love. What was Love? Take Love. Oh, The Cult. I'm about to show that again. Sell that to Tony Doyle. And let me go through this crate one more time. Not before I grab another. We always have 2 Japanese auctions going, or at least 2 auctions going. So let me go ahead and do another one. Let's see. We got a pretty heavy hitter up there of Kiss. Not saying Genesis isn't a heavy hitter, but we need to balance this out a little bit. Let's put up, well, this is a nice copy. I like the Obi on this one. Let me take a look at this. This may be Chad Keepworthy. Genesis, and then there were 3. Has that fantastic song on it, Follow You, Follow Me. Pristine, near mint Japanese pressing. This is going to be a $35 start. There's the near mint LP. There's the crisp original Japanese insert. And here's the beautiful cover. Wow, this is nice. To be kind of a black cover, especially these corners. Very nice. Obi, $35 start on Genesis, and then there were 3. Okay, we've got Kiss is at $75. That's going twice, going 3 times. Bob Riger wants an Ozzy, No More Tears. Anybody else can hear that in their head? That's sold to Bob Riger. Brandon Jackson wants a copy of The Cult, and that's what I'm showing right now. We have The Cult Love, finally in stock. If you wasn't on a waiting list or pre-commitment list on this, I've got 4 left for $31.99. The Cult, getting into selling new vinyl or just being a record salesman in general, a record dealer, I guess I should say. I found out about artists. I knew about The Cult. I had no idea the demand for The Cult albums. It's incredible. I mean, there's no telling how many copies of Electric Peace we've sold, Sonic Temple. This, we've sold over 50 copies. And, you know, I'm just now really stocking them because it hadn't been repressed in years. It's amazing. Primus, Sailing the Seas of Cheese. Primus is $36.99. That was tough to get for a while. They've recently repressed that batch. I've got 2 left. James Bragg, you was on the waiting list for that. Cameron Nance does not need on the waiting list for Bob Marley Kaya, by the way. Overkill, Under the Influence. That's on yellow marbled vinyl, $34.99. Pussifer is $41.99. Pussifer is $41.99. System of a Down Mesmerized was $28.99. Last copy of Iron Maiden Killers for $36.99. Leonard Skinner's Greatest Hits, Leonard Skinner's Innards, $28.99. 2 copies of Great White Recover, red and white split vinyl. That was a big seller last week. That's a restock of that. Kiss Alive, our Kiss bin got obliterated last week. I mean, there is nothing left except this and Dress to Kill, and maybe a couple copies of Unmasked. Queen, News of the World, Half Speed Master, classic album. Very, very good. $33.99. And then we've got 3 copies left after the pre-order of Fishbone, Truth and Soul, new limited and numbered from Music on Vinyl. Okay, I guess Kiss, lone bidder, lone buyer, Chris DiLorenzo. Amazing. He gets the Kiss Alive for $75. Figured that would see a little bit more activity. And I'm going to go ahead and end Genesis. If there's no other bids, we've got Grant Peltzer at $35, going twice, going 3 times to Grant Peltzer. Next new claim was Dennis Nelson. Dennis Nelson wants a Primus and a Fishbone. You've got it. Number 1, number 2, Primus and Fishbone. Jamie Sperlin on the Leonard Skinner. Jerry Stone wants a copy of The Cult. Jerry Stone wants a copy of The Cult. Sherry Darnell on one of the Leonard Skinner's innards. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. Kevin Scott, Great White is $31.99. $31.99 for Great White Recover. And yes, that was my fault on the YouTube. Tanner was in the back working, and I came up and set up the screen, the system. He thought that I'd already changed the date, and I didn't. So, yes, we can't change the YouTube either. We can change Facebook, but we can't change YouTube after we're live. Stephen Chesney wants on the Aussie Greatest Hits waiting list. You got it. Rich Russo wants a copy of Rush Signals. We will have to grab that, but Rich, we've got you. Paul Brothers wants a copy of Queen. Dennis Nelson wants a copy of Promise. Mitchell Thomas on Ron. And that was not Fishbone, not Queen, not Kiss, not Great White, not Iron Maiden, Pussifer. That might have been a miscue. If not, Mitchell Thomas, please let me know what RON means. He says, not me. Okay. That might just have been a miscue. All right, so Fishbone, Queen, Kiss, Great White, Iron Maiden, SOAD, which is System of a Down, Pussifer, Overkill, and we need a copy of The Cult to Cameron Nance. When I come back, I'm ending Genesis for just $35. Dennis says he only needs one Promise. I got you for one Promise and one Fishbone. You've got it. Let me figure out. Somebody asked about David Lee Roth. I think I might put it up for... No, it's going to be, just FYI, since I did feature it in a flip... What am I trying to say? The David Lee Roth, since I did catch a glimpse of it, post a glimpse of it on Facebook, it will be in one of our flip crates as a buy it now, first come, first serve, whoever's first. It will be in there. I think it's $34.99. It's a really nice copy. It will be in one of our vintage bins. We've got 8 bins of vintage to go through, along with all of our new vinyls. So I will be at a pretty high pace tonight. Not only that, Chris, when he showed up earlier, he brought in an entire bag of Monsters, and I'm on some kind of new flavor here, Ultra Strawberry Dreams, which is very tasty, no sugar, and it's got me feeling like I'm on fire. So if I'm at a fast pace tonight, that's why. That's why. Right, Tanner? Yeah, I got a buckle up here. Tanner says he's got a buckle up. Seth's fingertips are already sore trying to key all this stuff in. Wait till I read off the cherry pie. Oh my gosh, we sold another 100 copies of cherry pie already. I've got to read off that pre-order, and we've got to key all those in, and I've got to hopefully sell about another 100 here live. I'm going to do those after this crate. Jared Benoit wants a Promise if I've got it. Jared? Oh, I didn't pull him a Fishbone then. That's what I messed up. Okay. Jared, we've got you a Promise. We've got you a Promise. We've got you a Promise. Okay. 2 new Japanese auctions. This is sold to Grant Peltzer for $35, Genesis, and then there were 3. That's sold to Grant Peltzer, Genesis, and there were 3. Before I start this crate of vintage, let me put up 2 new auctions. So far, I consider 2 deals. No competition, Japanese steals. Y'all might need to wake up on these auctions. Here's 2 more killer ones. We have the Police Regatta de Blanc. Killer. Absolutely pristine. Seth must already have one of these, or this would not be out for auction. Regatta de Blanc. Message in a bottle. Pristine Japanese pressing. I should be keeping this too. There's already 2 I've wanted to keep, Genesis and this. This is beautiful. $45 start. $45 start on that one. There's the insert. There is the LP. Awesome cover. Obi. $45 start on the Police. I haven't had that one in a while. Perfect Japanese press. And we have the Cars, Candy O. What another one. This one has a few aging, or, you know, some of those moisture spots, or whatever you want to call it. This is also a $45 start. The Cars, Candy O. Vinyl is near mint and pristine. There is the original. Is this an inner sleeve or an insert? This is an insert. Man, the Cars. What a band. Oh my gosh. And this has some moisture spots, some humidity spots. That's what we call that. $45 start on either one of those. First crate of new vintage arrivals. These are first come, First Serve. Dean Martin, you're nobody till somebody loves you. Dean Martin is $9.99. Royal Steel Life, Tom Scott, $14.99. Rural Steel Life. That's a hard word for me to say. $14.99. Al Di Meola, John McLaughlin, Friday Night in San Francisco, $29.99. What a nice looking copy. $29.99. Pat Metheny Group, Off Ramp. Pat Metheny Group, $19.99. Dan Fogelberg, Home Free. Dan Fogelberg, $9.99. Joe Barrios wants the Saturday or Friday night in San Francisco. I think there's a Saturday night too. 3 Light Years. Wow, I've seen this before. I didn't even know we had it. This is the ELO box set, $49.99 from 1978. It's called 3 Light Years, On the Third Day, El Dorado, and Face the Music. I believe it's a 3 LP ELO box set. Yeah, it's like 3 albums in one. I've seen that. I think I've kind of always wanted it. Didn't even know we had it. Ted Nugent, Weekend Warriors, a white label promo. White label promo of Ted Nugent, Weekend Warriors. Wow, that looks unplayed. $24.99. Steppenwolf Monster with a very aggravating cover. The record empties from the bottom. $19.99 on Steppenwolf Monster. Fall Into Spring, Rita Coolidge. Fall Into Spring, Rita Coolidge, $9.99. Rachel Sweet, Full Around. Another white label promo, Rachel Sweet, $19.99. Full Around. Let me go back up to the top here and update everybody on our auctions very quickly. The Police was at $45 and then $46. The Cars is at $45. Police $47. Woods Felix first to the ELO box set. That's sold to Woods Felix. The Police is now at $50. Scott Smith first to the Ted Nugent. And R.M. Lazelle first to Rachel Sweet. Those are all sold. Wireless. Positively Human, Relatively Sane. Wireless, $14.99. Mercury label. The Book of Taliesin. This is a deep purple. This is a 2006 pressing on purple vinyl. 2006 pressing on purple vinyl. $44.99. Deep Purple, The Book of Taliesin. That's a purple vinyl reissue of one of their early first albums. The Greatest Live Show on Earth. Jerry Lee Lewis in shrink wrap with hop sticker. Sound Savers. $14.99. And the Chambers Brothers Greatest Hits. $24.99. Time Has Come. The Chambers Brothers Greatest Hits, $24.99. Lone Justice, this is a sealed copy with hop sticker, $19.99. Sealed from 1985. Lone Justice, sealed with hop sticker, $19.99. My Way, Frank Sinatra, $14.99 for Frank Sinatra. Warren Zevon, recorded live at the Roxy, Stand in the Fire. Warren Zevon live is $24.99. $24.99. The Police is at $51 with Fred Carnell. Linda Hasty's at $46 on the Cars. R.M. Lazelle's at $55 on the Police. Mitchell's at $47 on the Cars. Paul Brothers wants the Dean Martin. And Tanner, that one actually wasn't stickered, but I said $9.99 on Dean Martin. That's sold to Paul Brothers. And Walter Savage wants the Jerry Lee Lewis. That's sold to Walter Savage. $50 now on the Cars with Linda Hasty, and Charlie DeFrank wants the sealed Lone Justice. Deep Purple, Made in Japan, $39.99 for Deep Purple Made in Japan. Dean Martin, Houston, $9.99. Dean Martin, Houston. Elvis, I Got Lucky, $9.99. This is a Pickwick pressing. Pickwick is like an off-budget label. They're official presses, but historically they're known for being very cheap and inexpensive. But usually with Elvis, people want every label and every pressing, so Pickwick's one of those people usually still buy. The Country Gentleman, Sit Down, Young Stranger. The Country Gentleman is sealed. Sealed from 1980, unopened, $19.99. Genesis, 3 Sides Live, $34.99 for Genesis, 3 Sides Live. If you're done bidding on either two auctions, please let me know. Both have been up for a while, but they're still getting bids. I'll start wrapping those up in just a second. Tina Turner, Private Dancer, $24.99. This has Tina's smash hit, What's Love Got to Do with It? Kansas, Monolith, $19.99. Kansas, Monolith is $19.99. Sheena Easton, A Private Heaven. It's got a gold stamp promo on the front, $9.99. Sheena Easton, A Private Heaven. Jimmy Buffett, Before the Salt, 2LP, $29.99. Jimmy Buffett, Before the Salt, 2LP, $29.99. Netherlands, Dan Fogelberg, Netherlands, original inner sleeve. Near mint, of course, $9.99. Okay, the high bid on the cars is RM Lazelle, excuse me, the police, what I'm pointing to. The police, pristine Japanese pressing of Regatta de Blanc, or however you say that. RM Lazelle has that for $55. High bid on the cars is Linda Hasty for $55. Both auctions are at $55. $55. That's the high bid on both. Linda Hasty on the cars and RM Lazelle on the police. George Buchanan wants the Fogelberg, which is right here. The Country Gentleman, I didn't even catch that. The tablecloth matches their flannel. They're wearing some classic flannels there. And of course, you got the old blue and white checkered tablecloth. I can see that just like what my grandmother had. It looks just like them, like that plastic on top and it's like cloth underneath. And their shirts match it. That's sealed from 1980, the Old Country Gentleman. Emerson, Lake and Palmer in concert, 1999, ELP in concert. Emerson, Lake and Powell, that's Cozy Powell on drums for this one, and not Carl Palmer, 1999. Exposure, $24.99. We have Love to You, Baby. What are we? Oh, Love to Love You, Baby, Donna Summer. I can see it now. Love to Love You, Baby, Donna Summer. This is Love to Love You, Baby, the 16-minute version. And Try Me, I Know We Can Make It, the 17-minute version. Wow, those are some long songs. $14.99. Of course, I knew Love to Love You, Baby was. I didn't know that other one was that long. Warren Zevon tracks. Give me 1 second on that. We have RM Lazelle's at 60 on the police. Fred Carnell on ELP. Fred, do you want Emerson, Lake and Palmer or Emerson, Lake and Powell? They're both ELP. Stephen Chesney first on Expose. And I guess we can go ahead and tell the cars is now on a final call. $55 on the cars. And they're still bidding on the police. Fred, you're out on the police. RM Lazelle's back in at 60. Fred wants Emerson, Lake and Powell. You're probably not seeing RM Lazelle's bids because he's bidding on YouTube. You may have to watch the comments on the screen. Of course, I'll definitely call him back, but I'll let you know on that. He says he's out. So I'm going to end the police the same time I do the cars and about 3 more records. Our Memories of Elvis. Our Memories of Elvis. This is actually on RCA. $9.99. Our Memories of Elvis. And Carl Wilson. You may know him from a band called the Beach Boys. Carl Wilson, $24.99. Willie Nelson and Leon Russell, One for the Road. Willie and Leon. This is another white label promo from 1979. $29.99. Scott Smith first on Carl Wilson. Very cool. I was looking at this pre-show. The Story of the Blues, $29.99. I almost thought about putting this up for auction, but I'm going to make it a quick bite now. Story of the Blues, 2 LP near mint, $29.99. Scott Smith was first on Carl Wilson. Let's go ahead and sell the police for $60 to RM Lazelle. RM Lazelle gets the police for $60, and Linda Hasty gets the Cars Candy O for $55. First on the Story of the Blues was Michael Nath, James C. Jones, and then George Buchanan. Michael Nath. I figured one of those 3 people, plus a couple others that's been buying blues records, would end up with that. Let me go grab 2 new Japanese pressings. We're not behind on invoices. I'm glad I got everybody on, and somebody asked that. This is a great time to announce this. As we are trying to grow some automation here at CollectCo, we have decided to start sending invoices, at least almost all of them, until we can get everybody's email through email. So you might want to check your email address. If you've been looking for your regular Monday invoice, please go check your email. Check your spam or junk folder if you don't see it. And if you don't have it there, we may not have a correct invoice for you or a correct email. But basically, we can hit one button and send out invoices in a second rather than do them manually like we have been. And that's usually been an 8 or 10 hour job on Sundays. So please start checking your email for invoices. You can still contact us through Facebook Messenger. We're still going to talk to you there. We can also talk to you through email. But as we start having hundreds and hundreds of more customers, we've got to start doing it through email so we can hit a button and everything sends automated. We've been copying and pasting every link and sending it to every customer in Facebook Messenger, except people on YouTube who only do email. And that takes us on a Sunday and Monday, both days, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours. So that's how you do that. Check email. That's where invoices will start going. We was going to wait until probably after today, since I think maybe we were still trying to acquire some emails, and I was going to make a post in the group and on our main page, Instagram, everywhere we can post and let everybody know that. So that is going to help us out a lot. You have no idea. That's like hours and hours of manual labor that we can cut out. Okay, back to the auctions. Let's see here. Did I miss any other questions? Okay. Yes. I used to pin a comment on Facebook, but I don't think about it anymore because we use this restream. But that's a great idea, Mike. We need to start doing that. Next two Japanese auctions. The Stranger. I'll get something drafted where we can do that every night. The Stranger. Billy Joel. Near mint pristine Japanese pressing of Billy Joel, The Stranger. This is going to be a $35 start. LP's near mint. There's the original CBS Sony anti-static inner sleeve that it originally came with. There's the Japanese insert. Really nice cover with Obi. The classic Billy Joel album. $35 start. $35 start for Billy Joel The Stranger. And we have Huey Lewis in the news. Picture this. If the cover looks a little different, the reason is because it comes with this alternate artwork, this colored artwork over the top of it. It's kind of like a Japanese insert. See how that works? Huey Lewis, near mint pristine. This top piece, the Obi, which is almost transparent. The insert, the vinyl. Your standard near mint Japanese pressing, $35 start on that. Really cool Huey Lewis pressing with that cover. 35 and 35 on that. A few more new arrivals in here. We have Deep Purple in rock. This is actually a German pressing, $29.99. I've got about 5 or 6 people who's been wanting this album, including several people who's like, please hold this for me. And I'm like, I can't because I've got too many people who want it. This is actually a near mint German pressing, $29.99. Lana Del Rey, Ultraviolence. This is a 2014 pressing of Lana Del Rey, Ultraviolence. Yeah, $39.99. Lana Del Rey from 2004 or 14. I was about to say, she hadn't been around that long. She hadn't been around since 2004, I don't think. The Greg Allman Band, I'm No Angel. Greg Allman, $19.99. Near mint copy. Very nice. And Chicago. This one looks very bright than most of them. Oh, that's because it's a 2009 pressing. 2009 Rhino reissue Chicago is $44.99. $44.99. Back up to the top. Jamie Butler, I will check on that. David Schroeder, I will check on that. Billy Joel's at 35. Billy Joel's at 35. Billy Joel 36. Huey Lewis 35. Billy Joel 37. Huey Lewis 35. Billy Joel 37. Joel 40. Wow, lots. Jerry Stone first on Deep Purple. Jerry Stone's been one of those people for about a year that's been wanting a copy of this. That goes to Jerry Stone. Huey Lewis is at 37. Is LDR sealed? No. Lana Del Rey is opened, near mint. Let's see. 41, 38 on Huey Lewis. Greg Preston on GA. That's Greg Allman. That's sold to Greg Preston. And we've only been through these one more time. Let me run through them one more time before I grab the next crate of new vinyl. And we got 2 pretty heated auctions going on right now. This is Billy Joel The Stranger and Huey Lewis. Picture this. Let's go through these one more time. We've got Royal Still Life, Tom Scott. That's $14.99. Pat Metheny Group, Off Ramp, $19.99. Dan Fogelberg, Home Free, $9.99. Steppenwolf Monster is $19.99. Original ABC, very nice, $19.99. $19.99. Fallen Into Spring, Rita Coolidge, $9.99. Wireless, Positively Human, Relatively Sane, $14.99. Deep Purple, The Book of Taliesin. This was the 2009 pressing on purple vinyl, $44.99. The Chambers Brothers Greatest Hits, $24.99. My Way, Frank Sinatra, $14.99. Warren Zevon, recorded live, Stand in the Fire, that was $24.99. Let me know if we still need a track list on that. Deep Purple, 2LP live in Japan, $39.99. Dean Martin Houston, $9.99. Elvis, I Got Lucky, $9.99 as well. Genesis 3 Sides Live, $34.99. Tina Turner, Private Dancer, $24.99. Monolith, Kansas, $19.99. And Sheena Easton, A Private Heaven, $9.99. Billy Joe, 45. Huey Lewis, 40. Huey Lewis, 41. Billy Joe, 47. Huey Lewis, 45. Billy Joe, 50. Chris is out on Huey Lewis. We had a $45 bid, then Billy Joe's at 50, and then Billy Joe 52 and 55. Does Country Gentleman have Fox on the Run? That's coming up soon. That song is not on here. That is not on here. Kevin Scott wants the Frank Sinatra My Way. That's sold to Kevin Scott. There's the Warren Zevon tracks, Josh, and let me know if you still want it or do want it. Billy Joel's at 56, now 57. Jimmy Buffett, Before the Salt, that was 2 LP, $29.99. Emerson, Lake and Palmer in concert, $19.99. Love to Love You Baby, Donna Summer, $14.99. Our Memories of Elvis, $9.99. Willie and Leon, White Label Promo, $29.99. Lana Del Rey, $39.99. And the Chicago 2009 remaster, $44.99. So let's do a final call on the Huey Lewis. That's at $45 of Eric Beck, going twice, going 3 times. Billy Joel has like 4 bidders still. High bid is now with Peter Policino at $62 for Billy Joel, The Stranger. Billy Joel demand has skyrocketed. I used to have like stacks of The Stranger, 52nd Street, all those turnstiles. I guess where he's back on tour. I mean, just incredible. I haven't seen so much demand lately for Billy Joel in quite some time. A lot of the younger generation's into him as well. When I say younger generation, my age and even younger. So, seen a lot of demand for old Billy Joel. Right, Seth?
Correct.
Seth said correct in a very monotone, sad voice. Okay. We've got some heated records to show you. I hope you're ready for this, Tanner. What happened to all the... I guess my new vinyl has shrinked, I guess, because we've sold so much already. Country Gentleman 15. Let me go back to that one and see. Okay, Billy Joel 60, 61, 64, 65, 65. If not too late, I'll take Jimmy Buffett Before the Salt. Okay, so Jimmy Buffett. The Country Gentleman, I'll do 10% off on that, which would make it $18. Whoever, John Porter, I'll do that one for $18. And Jimmy Buffett goes to Roger Ramjet. But yeah, 10% off on that one would be $18. That's what I do on a new arrival. Okay, new vinyl. Few things in here. I just said things like THANGS. That's what happens when you're from the South and you start talking fast. John Porter said sold, so sell him that for $18. Sell him that for $18. Okay, and we can go ahead and sell Huey Lewis to Eric Beck for $45. Huey Lewis is sold to Eric Beck for $45. Let me read some titles in the Japanese bin. We've got John Lennon, The Eagles, Olivia Newton-John, Three Dog Night, Led Zeppelin, Chicago, Cyndi Lauper, John Lennon, Billy Joel, The Beach Boys, Jay Giles, Wings, Iron Maiden, The Beatles, Rush, Neil Young, Foreigner, Eagles, Wham, Rat, Zeppelin, Elvis, Simon & Garfunkel, John Denver, and that's about 2 ways through. Let me go ahead and pull out a couple of those big names like Rat, Out of the Cellar. Wow. Near mint and pristine Japanese pressing. Near mint and pristine Japanese pressing. I was putting cellar and pressing together. Rat, Out of the Cellar, $65 start. There's the Near Mint LP. There's the lyric insert. And, of course, a really nice cover with the Obi, $65 start on Rat, Out of the Cellar. That is a Japanese pressing. Okay. Billy Joel, we had 64, and then 65 and 65. We said sold on that. We've got Eagles Japanese. Give me 1 second on that. Andrew's out on Billy Joel. Elvis, Rush, I haven't seen an OG copies of Pet Sounds in quite some time. And Rat 65. Okay, so Billy Joel the Stranger is with Andrew Pulicino for 65, but then he said he doesn't want it. I think we got two Pulicinos bidding. So I have Peter Pulicino as the high bid on Billy Joel right now. I just want to make that clear. Peter says he's also out. Now I'm very confused. So we have Andrew and Peter at 65, but they've both said out. I just want to confirm that y'all are retracting your bids at 65. If so, then Jerry Stone has it for 64. Let me just make sure that's correct. So, before we continue. But if you're still in, bid again so I know you're in at 65. Let's go through a crate of new vinyl. We have Exodus, Shovel-Headed Tour Machine. Is that what that says? Shovel-Headed Tour Machine live at Whackin'. This is $44.99. $44.99. Exodus, $44.99. That looks like to be a 2LP live. Leonard Skinner's Second Helping. Leonard Skinner's Second Helping is $31.99 for Second Helping. That's a new sealed copy. We had a waiting list for that. Leonard Skinner's Second Helping. Dale Cooper, Susie Breedlove, and Jerry Stone. Dale Cooper, Susie Breedlove, and Jerry Stone. Susie Breedlove, Dale Cooper, and Jerry Stone, $31.99. Jason Holtz wants the Kill Machine or Tour Machine. Is that for the Jason? Is that for the X's? If so, that's sold to you, Jason. And we do have a bid on Rat at 65 with George Buchanan. That's going twice, going 3 times. Okay, so we had 3 bidders on Billy Joel, and I think everyone has retracted, and nobody wants it anymore. So who was the 4th bidder before all those? Jerry says he doesn't want it anymore. Andrew doesn't want it, or Peter. So who was the next bidder? Eric Beck? No. I think that was the only 3 people bidding. All 3 of y'all were bidding against each other from the beginning. So I don't know what to do now. I guess we need to have to start it over. Stephanie Harder wants a Leonard Skinner. That's sold to Stephanie Harder. And Billy Joel 65. Okay, so we're still bidding on it. If you're bidding at this point, I know for sure you're going to get it. And there may be even more bids. I don't know. But I've got Peter Pulicino at $65. Anthrax Stomp 442 is $36.99. Anthrax Stomp 442 is $36.99. I've got 1 copy of that. Leonard Skinner Icon is $29.99. I think everybody wants it. They just were saying they were out. I'm pretty sure Jerry would take it. I'm pretty sure it looks like Andrew and Peter want it too, but I was just confused on who actually wanted it. That's what has confused me. So I'm just trying to make sure. So we're all within like $1 of each other. So somebody's going to end up with it. Leonard Skinner Icon is $29.99. There was a waiting list for that. I think it was just 1 or 2 people, 1 or 2 persons. Leonard Skinner Icon, John Duran. John Duran. Here's another Leonard Skinner Greatest Hits. This one's called Icon. It's actually 2LP, $29.99. So we had Anthrax, and we got 1 copy of that Leonard Skinner. I'll take it at 65. Okay, Peter Pulicino has the Billy Joel Stranger for 65. Final call on that, as in going 3 times, going 4 times. I want to make sure Jerry Stone's out, because I'm pretty sure he definitely was interested. If he's out, he's out. I think he's already set out technically. And Rat is sold to George Buchanan. Let me make sure that was the right bid. Maybe we just need some fresh auctions. George Buchanan, lone and single bidder on Rat for $65. That's sold to George Buchanan. And Devin Reese is first on Anthrax. Devin Reese is first on Anthrax. Kiss Destroyer 2014 remaster, $36.99. $36.99 for Kiss Destroyer. I had a bid in for Rat. Let me make sure I see that. Rat. Oh, Eric Beck was first. Eric Beck was first on Rat. I definitely do need to put up some new auctions. These are officially cursed. So George Buchanan, you're out on Rat. $65. George Buchanan, you were out. Eric Beck was in first. Sorry, Eric, and sorry, George. That is on my screen. The Billy Joel's got me a little confused. Eric Beck is the high bidder on Rat at 65. Final call on that. Leonard Skinner is not colored vinyl. No, not colored vinyl on that. Not colored vinyl. We got a restock. I finally went ahead and ordered several of Pink Floyd's Division Bell. $49.99. Pink Floyd Division Bell. That's a 2000... What year remaster do they consider that one? 2016 for Pink Floyd Division Bell. There was a few people waiting on that. Kirk Fields and Ron Stoltz. Kirk Fields and Ron Stoltz. That was $49.99 for Pink Floyd Division Bell. If you haven't got one of those already, it's not a rare original pressing, but they don't come through too often. So it's something that people usually settle for new pressing. Exodus is still available. I misunderstood whoever was helping me with that title earlier. $44.99 on Exodus. Okay. Peter Pulicino, or Pulicino, really hadn't mastered his name yet, gets the Billy Joel the Stranger for $65. $65. That's sold to Peter. That's a done deal. We're still bidding on Rat now because I missed Eric's initial bid. Eric Beck is at $68 on that. And we got a couple claims for Pink Floyd. Aaron Watts wants one. Ron, I've already got one pulled for you. You was on a waiting list. And Austin says, I got one here, spun upon arrival. Pink Floyd Division Bell. I have sold a bunch of those. $49.99. Got a restock of the Anthrax Fistful of Metal. This is the 10-inch version on 4 LPs on yellow vinyl. $33.99. Anthrax Fistful of Metal. $33.99. $33.99. Rush. I actually, for the first time tonight, can show these and say we have them in stock and you can claim one live. Ever since this has came out as a repress, we've either had a waiting list or it's been a pre-order commitment. Rush self-titled box is $59.99. There was a few more people finally waiting, and I've got about 10 more, so I actually have several. This is Michael Laurie, Randy Scarborough, and Jeffrey Thomas. When these came back into print, the cheapest one on Discogs was like $120, $140. So far, they have been 200 gram. It includes 3 pictures, like promo pictures. We have, let's see, there's a poster in here and then a Rush family tree. And of course, the LP and a jacket. And this is the only version of Rush, the self-titled first album, that's in print. There is no like single jacket. It comes as this box, $59.99. George Buchanan's out on Rat, and Eric has that for $68. Final call. I'm about to end that, and I'll put up 2 new Japanese auctions. Here's the big new arrival for this week, especially as far as quantity and demand. We have these available right now. If you want one, they're going to get gone. You know it. Go ahead and claim one. This is $39. No, these are $44.99. These are $44.99. Warrant Cherry Pie. $44.99. Limited to 3,000. They actually did these on cherry colored vinyl. Even though I'm curious what they actually look like. The pre-order rendering file picture looked like they were pink. It's supposed to be cherry red. That's what it says. So if you open this and it looks pink, don't think anything about it. It just may be, I don't know, over there in Holland, they may have different definitions of color than we do. $44.99. That's Warrant Cherry Pie. Music on vinyl. Official press. Numbered on the back. Here in my hand, I have 1621. I'm going to take a deep breath and read off the pre-order because these are, we've pre-sold a bunch. George, let's see, who got the Rat? Eric Beck got the Rat for $68. Rat went to Eric Beck for $68. The Warrant Cherry Pie pre-order, just so everybody knows who's getting one, we have the following people. Alex Roman, Shane Berry, Grant Peltzer, Greg Stone. Let me restart. Alex Roman, Shane Berry, Grant Peltzer, Greg Stone, TJ Lacey, Dan Triaga, Bill Fratsky got 3 of them, Richard Davis, Jeremy Mellick, Jeff Johnson, Stephen Chesney, Jesse Hood, Thomas O'Brien got 3 of them, David Chilcote, Walt Cruz, Gary Samuels, David Schroeder, Heather Perry, Eli Tomlinson, Ben Stimmel, Brett Mylin, Terry Myers, Greg Neal, Susie Breedlove, Bubby Mercer, Andrew Erickson, Dwayne Sevilla, Troy Perkins. Troy Perkins got 2. Kyle Morgan, Jared Benoit, Galinda Barnes, Wayne Carr, Jerry Stone, Alvo Dabney Jr., No Rodriguez, Brent Rabley got 2. Scott Fish, Ron Duffield, Eric Beck, David Tate, Debbie Blair, Ron Duffield got a second one. Paul Brothers, Randy Tabron, Scott Smith got 2. Adam Halsey, Gabe Flewitt, Marco Martinez, Matt Algram, James McGowan, Jeff Hawes got 2. Jamie Shears got 2. Jason McCobb, Rob Schindel, Kelly O'Shea, Michelle Phillips got 2. Whitney Croy, David Eberly, Linda Hasty got 2. Gerard Cacciatore, Ray Vinson, George Buchanan, Vic Natecki, Josh Portman, Joe Sandingo got 2. Jill Morris, Brenda Medina, Jason Jarnigan, and James Bragg. This is $44.99. $44.99. That is Warrant Cherry Pie. So I've got a couple more. We've got some live claims. That's David Sweevil, Ryan Bannon, excuse me. And Ryan, if you're a first-time customer, please make sure you message our page. I've actually got some right here. I can start pulling these out. I knew I grabbed a handful. We've got about 100 right now in stock. By the end of the week, hopefully they're gone, and there's a good chance they will be. I don't know, though. We still got lots of copies of Dog Eat Dog, but this one's definitely far more popular. There's David Sweevil on Warrant. Ryan Bannon, if you're a first-time customer, thank you, welcome. Send our page a message with your email address for sure, because we're sending invoices via email now, and we do $7 in limited shipping. This is the first sale of the week. We do $7 in limited shipping. That's sold to Ryan. Eric S. wants a copy. Chris D. Lorenzo. You can open mine. Vinyl, show the color. That's true. Let me do that right quick. Let's see. I should have gotten 2. Only heard my name once. Let's make sure Bubby Mercer has 2. And Scotty Hops wants a copy. Scotty Hops. These are new and sealed for Music on Vinyl. So that's everybody that claimed one live. Let's see what these look like. I'm very curious if it is actually pink like the image. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they had trouble making red vinyl, so they used a pink image and called it Cherry Red. But let's see what they look like. It's kind of a hybrid. It's definitely pinkish. It's not red, but it's not hot pink like the image looked like. So, yeah, maybe cherry pie. Yeah, I guess so. You know, if you look at cherry pie, sometimes it's not actually, you know, it's got stuff in it, kind of makes it not really as red. So that's what they look like. Yep. Okay. Yeah, does somebody need this one? Strawberry pie. Okay. One more time, let's go through this crate. This is a few new releases in here, and then I've got like 7 consecutive bins of vintage to go through. Not before we put up a couple new Japanese auctions. I'm just going to start from the front here and start working on some stuff, especially this Led Zeppelin Presence and Chicago 16. Let me put those up in 1 second. First is Leonard Skinner, Second Helping. Leonard Skinner is $31.99. Leonard Skinner is $31.99. That's their second album, repress of that. That's been out of stock for a while. Just getting those back in. Leonard Skinner Icon, $29.99. That's a greatest hits LP. Kiss Destroyer is $36.99. Exodus, Shovel-Headed Tour Machine, live at Wacken. And other, yeah, that's the name of it, $44.99. We have several Pink Floyd, the Division Bells in stock. Pink Floyd is $49.99. Anthrax, yes, Brandon, you was on the waiting list. We had Anthrax Stomp 442. We had that in the bin. We sold out. Brandon Jackson, I've got you down for an Anthrax. Those are $33.99. And here's the Rush box. Those are $59.99. Michael Laurie, Randy Scarborough, and Jeffrey Thomas was on that waiting list. I still got about 10 of these in stock. That's the Rush self-titled, $59.99. Let me grab a new crate of vintage. Lots of new vintage LPs tonight. I'm going to start going through those right now. Let me see what's in this bin. See what John's pulled for us here. It's got some cool stuff in here. And let me see what's in this other crate as well. Interesting. I'm trying to figure out where some of this stuff came from. I honestly don't really remember some of it. The Warrant's 44. Yeah, Warrant Cherry Pie is $44.99. Tony Riddle wants one of the Anthraxes. Okay, first auction. Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. And this also has the hit song, Eyes Without a Face, which I heard, and I was like, which Billy Idol album is that on? And then sometimes when I see everybody's always bidding on this one, I was like, maybe not only because it's a great album, but probably because it has several hits on it, including Rebel Yell and Eyes Without a Face. So $25 start, about a VG Plus cover, just minor shelf wear, has the original lyric inner sleeve, vinyl is near mint minus, and that's a $25 start. So actually, let me put that up for auction. Billy Idol, $25 start, and we'll do this copy of Led Zeppelin Presence. Haven't had a Japanese press of this in quite some time. Near mint and pristine, of course, on the vinyl. $65 start. There's the Japanese insert with the obelisk. There's the Japanese lyric insert. I don't see too many copies of Presence on Japanese vinyl. Not like we see maybe copies of 4 and what, Song Remains the Same. There's the Obi, $65 start on that one. And yes, we have Delicate Sound of Thunder. Pink Floyd Delicate Sound of Thunder is $49.99 if you want one of those. $49.99 on Pink Floyd Delicate Sound of Thunder. Let me see if I got one in my Pink Floyd bin. I don't, but they're around here somewhere. They're in one of these bins. $49.99 on Delicate Sound of Thunder. Okay, let's go through this crate of new vintage. Billy Idol 25, Billy Idol 25, Billy Idol 25, 25, 25, 27, and 30. New vintage arrivals. First come, first serve. If you're kind of new, these have all been cleaned, checked, inspected. We buy collections. We go through. We pick out stuff we're going to sell here. We sell everything here. We clean them. We look them up. We price them, or we auction them. One of the two. Tom Jones, Green Green Grass of Home. Tom Jones, an earlier one of his on the Parrot label. $9.99. Oh, I didn't pull the Anthrax. The Anthrax is right here for Tony Riddle. Tony, I forgot to pull your Anthrax, but I'm doing it right now. The Crusaders, At Their Best on Motown. The Crusaders is $19.99. Mott the Hoople, Rock and Roll Queen. Mott the Hoople, $19.99. Yes, Time and a Word. Very nice copy. 1970 Presswell. That's the OG of that. $29.99. 1970 Presswell. Yes, Time and a Word. Original U.S. press. The UK had a different cover. Dave Edmunds, Repeat When Necessary. Dave Edmunds is $14.99. The Rolling Stones, $34.99. This is their first album. This is probably a later pressing. Mid-60s, maybe even late 60s. $34.99. That's the Rolling Stones, England's newest hit makers. $34.99. Nick Todd. Nick Todd was first to Yes. High bid on Billy high bid on Billy Idol. Billy Idol is at $34. No bids yet on Led Zeppelin. I'm looking for a $65 start. Achilles' Last Stand. Are y'all awake out there? Unbelievable. So I think somebody already mentioned that in the comments, but I always thought that was the oddest cover. But it makes sense. Donnie Moore, first to the Rolling Stones. Billy Idol's at 34 with Jet It. That's going once, going twice. Paul McCartney, Pipes of Peace. Paul McCartney is $24.99. Music for a New Society, John Cale, $34.99. John Cale, Music for a New Society. That is near mint, and that is $34.99. 1982, John Cale. Climax Blues Band, gold plated. Climax Blues Band is $14.99. Clover, right? I think this is Huey Lewis. Clover is $14.99. Huey Lewis, lead vocals and harmonicas, $14.99. He also played the harmonicas on a Thin Lizzy album. Mott the Hoople, Mott, $19.99. Mott the Hoople, $19.99. And Joan Jett, very cool. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, $29.99. Her catalog definitely needs a repressing. Boy, this is a nice copy. Joan Jett is $29.99. I wonder where these records came from. Once again, we're putting out all these new arrivals. I can't remember where I bought them. It's probably from one of the Texas collections, or the Tampa or Texas or Arkansas. At this point, I really don't know. So, let's see. Billy Idol 35. Fred bid 35. Next comment, Pipes of Peace soundtracks. Give me 1 second on that unless Craig can share it for us. Craig, you should be receiving a record in the mail soon. Scott Smith on C. That was either for Clover or Climax Blues Band. I bet Scott Smith wanted the Clover. Jeff McMaster was first to Joan Jett. Grant Peltzer, you were second to Clover. Ryan Anderson, you were third on Ryan Anderson, you were third on Joan Jett. Rydell was fourth. Fred, 6. and Arthur 7th. Organization, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. This is $39.99. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, $39.99. 1986 UK. 1986 UK. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. Moondog Matinee, the band. Moondog Matinee is $34.99. The band. Mott the Hoople, Brain Capers, featuring the Brain Caper Kids. The Brain Caper Kids. $19.99 for Mott the Hoople. And The World of Them, as in Van Morrison and them. Very cool. 1970 UK, $34.99. Thank you, Ed. Safe travels. $34.99. The World of Them. That's the Them and Van Morrison. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Reactor, $19.99. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Reactor, $19.99. All right, I'm going to make sure I called up here. Scott Smith did get the Clover album, and the first of the Joan Jett was Jeff McMaster, with lots of people 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, etc. Melinda Gernhardt was first to Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. That's so to Melinda. Fred, you were 2nd, and Jeff McMaster was first to The World of Them. Them featuring Van Morrison. Let's do a final call on the Billy Idol Rebel Yell. Billy Idol Rebel Yell. Jettits at $37. Going twice, going 3 times. I'm going to make Led Zeppelin a buy it now for $65. Who wants it? You can buy it now. Led Zeppelin for $65. Next Japanese pressing is a near mint copy of Chicago 16. Near mint all the way around. Near mint and pristine Japanese vinyl. There's the LP. There's the 2-page flip book. There's the cover and obi. That's a $35 start. $35 start on Chicago 16. Hold up Mott again. There's Mott the Hoople. We have Brain Capers, and there's Mott the Hoople Mott. And we have Mott the Hoople Rock and Roll Queen. There's 3 in there. Nina, 99 Luff Balloons. Nina, $34.99. So this is the one I was trying to explain to you the other night. This side's in English, and then this side's in German. Great stuff, including the Deep Track Gem, Let Me Be Your Pirate. $34.99. Led Zeppelin is pristine. Yes, sir. It's got a little bit of up here on the cover. That's not foxing. It's just like some, might even come off if you, looks like fingerprints. Like somebody was touching it with like some dirty fingers. Could probably clean up. But yes, the vinyl is near mint and pristine. I'm about to sell Billy Idol as well. Wildlife, Mott the Hoople. $24.99. Wildlife, Mott the Hoople. The Crusaders, Unsung Heroes. $19.99 for the Crusaders. The Doors, Strange Days. Let's see what pressing we have. $34.99. It's the kind of later Electra repress of this. Very nice condition though. The Doors, Strange Days. $34.99. Brian Eno, Discreet Music. Brian Eno is a 1976 UK pressing. $44.99. And Blast from Your Past, Ringo Starr. This appears to be very nice. Original Apple pressing. This is a Ringo Starr hits compilation. All of his greatest hits are on there as a solo artist. Dennis Nelson is first to the Nina. That's sold to Dennis Nelson. Let's go ahead and sell Billy Idol. That's sold to Jettit for $37. And if anybody wants Chicago, it's a $35 buy it now. But the Led Zeppelin, the inserts, the obi, the vinyl, it was all near mint and pristine. I'd say the cover is better than VG Plus for sure, but it's not perfect and white and all that. Chicago is a $35 buy it now for whoever wants that. Jimmy Messina, Oasis, $9.99. And Neil Young, American Stars and Bars, nice copy, $34.99. John said after that Ringo album, everything went downhill. It's hard, I guess it's, what a lot of pressure, you know, you leaving the Beatles and you gotta try to, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You gotta catch up with all that. Man. All right. This is not a cheap record. I'm going to tell y'all what I need for a starting bid. You can bid, or you don't have to bid. This is something we don't get very often. Stuff people come in the store asking for. Things that, I mean, it's Iron Maiden. It's a Japanese press of Iron Maiden Power Slave. This is going to be a $135 start. $135 start. Very nice top copy. There is the Japanese insert. There's the cover and obi. Textured cover. Very nice. Has the insert, near mint, and pristine Japanese vinyl. There it is. That's a $135 start. Textured cover, you bet. Also over here, we have Billy Joe 52nd Street. This is a $35 start. Billy Joe 52nd Street, near mint and pristine. There is the near mint pristine LP. There's the Japanese insert. And here is, oh, we got something else. We have the original inner sleeve as well. Or is this another flip? Nope. That is the original inner sleeve. And there is the cover and the obi. Very nice. That's a $35. You got a $35 start on Billy Joel, and for $100 more, you've got Iron Maiden Power Slave, which is a tough album we came in. This is, that's not a sticker or anything. It's just some kind of number, N921. I'm not for sure what that is, but it's not a sticker. It's actually printed on the cover there, N921. 135 on that, 35 on Billy Joel. Back to the Buy It Now bin. This is a white label promo of the Tubes Live, What Do You Want From Live, $29.99. That's a white label promo copy. The Rolling Stones Love You Live, the Rolling Stones, $39.99. Passport, Ataraxia, not for sure on that. Passport, $14.99. Shades of Deep Purple. This is $26.99. This is a 180 gram reissue. Shades of Deep Purple, $26.99. Bee Gees Odessa, 1969 Pittman Press, $44.99. Bee Gees Odessa, really clean copy, original Atco inner sleeves, $44.99 on Odessa. Spyro Gyra Incognito, $9.99 for Spyro Gyra. Rita Coolidge, It's Only Love. Rita Coolidge, $9.99. Aaron Watts, first on the Rolling Stones, Love You Live. And Jay Ferguson, Thunder Island. He was kind of a one-hit wonder, but that's a very popular song. Thunder Island, Jay Ferguson, $14.99. Wizards from the South Side, Blues Compilation, $19.99. Wizards from the South Side. We have Roger McGowan. That's not right. I've been messing up his name for a long time. Roger McGuinn. Roger McGuinn. I got corrected very quickly the other night. $19.99. Roger McGuinn. The Shirts is $19.99. I've never seen the Shirts before. There's the Shirts. Self-titled, $19.99. Nick Todd was first to Spyro. Nick Todd first to Spyro. Iron Maiden does not have the poster. Doc Smith was first to the Wizards. Wizards also with James C. Jones. Matthew Knight was third. I like it when you say McGowan. I did too. McGuinn don't sound right now. Jay Ferguson was in the band Spirit. 100% correct. One-hit wonder, though, I consider him as a solo artist with Thunder Island, but can anybody else name a hit? It's like Spankin' Her Gang. Spankin' Her Gang, they have that album, Spankin' Her Gang's Greatest Hits, and I'm like, or you'll see something like Looking Glass, Greatest Hits, and I'm like, what other hit did they have except Brandy? The Kinks, Sleepwalker. I usually want to put an ER after sleep. This is The Kinks, Sleepwalker, $14.99. Snoopy and His Friends, The Rural Guardsman, $24.99. Snoopy and His Friends, nice copy. These are usually beat up, covers especially. $24.99. Snoopy and His Friends, The Rural Guardsman. Carla Bonoff, Restless Nights, $9.99. That's a white label promo. Carlos Bonoff, $9.99. Stephen Stills Live, one side's electric, one side's acoustic, $19.99. David Taylor first to Snoopy. Terrell Boatnight was second. Brian C. was third. I'm going to give our auctions one more moment to get a bid before I end them, especially because this is still getting questions. I can't tell you if this is a first press or a repress. I can read you the OB catalog number, which is EMS 91091. It has a 2,800 yen price tag. I'm looking for a $135 start. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. The cover is very beautiful. I mean, if we're going to really start splitting hairs, it has a microscopic little bump right there on that corner. No foxing, no soiling, nothing wrong with this one. Inner sleeve is great too. We do have a bid. John Missmoyer's in at 135. We do have a high bid on that. I'm going to go ahead and make Billy Joe a buy it now because I have a whole crate to run through tonight, and we have a lot of other stuff to go through. Billy Joe is a $35 buy it now. I can't believe it, but you can believe it when you buy it. $35 buy it now on Billy Joe, 52nd Street. That is up for bid. Vincent Dinga on Stephen Steele's. Vincent, have you bought from us before? I don't recall saying your name too many times. Let me know. I'll go ahead and give first buyer instructions anyway, especially if somebody's new watching. If you're new and there's anything you want to buy, just comment like Vincent and David and Terrell and everybody you see currently on the screen trying to claim something. I will let you know if it's sold to you. We will invoice you on Monday. That's like 6 days from now. The reason we're doing that is because we're having a live sale again tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and that's the last show. No Sunday night, Saturday night. So you can buy all week for combined shipping. It's like a 1 week charge of $7. And if you like watching here on Facebook, you can have plenty of opportunities to buy and save on shipping. We have some people who get 1 or 2 records. We have some people we ship out like 5 boxes this tall every week to them. John Missmoyer, final call on the Iron Maiden. Jerry Stone is going to get the Billy Joe for a $35 buy it now. Vincent, of course, got the Stephen Stills. Thank you and welcome. The Police Cheap Trick, the Dream Police, a white label promo, near mint, $34.99. Wow, that's almost an auction item. 1979 white label promo, OG, near mint too. I mean, really nice copy, $34.99. U2, The Unforgettable Fire, great album, $34.99. U2, nice copy, $34.99 on Unforgettable Fire. Traffic, The Low Spark of High-Heeled Boys, Traffic, $19.99. Really nice copy with the die-cut cover. $19.99. Sheffield Treasury. This is who? I've Got the Music in Me. Thelma Houston and Pressure Cooker. I've Got the Music in Me. $19.99. John Missmoyer, congratulations. You're the owner of Iron Maiden Power Slave. Japanese press, $135. That's sold to John Missmoyer. So let me put up 2 new Japanese pressings. Not before we sell Tony Shore, the Cheap Trick. Tony was first to Cheap Trick. Brian C. was second. James C. Jones was first to Traffic. Mark Robinson was second. And we're caught up. Let me grab 2 new Japanese auctions over here. Did we have a Beatles album? We can't have a Japanese session without a Beatles album. We do. We got a pristine copy of Let It Be. And let's do this. I said John Denver earlier, and this is actually a Santana album. I don't know how I got that mixed up. And I do have another Billy Joe. I'm going to try to go ahead and knock all these out because they're really nice copies. This one's in shrink wrap with a hype sticker featuring You May Be Right. I mean, really nice copies. And then this copy of Let It Be. If you're needing a nice copy of Let It Be, pay close attention. Japanese press of the Beatles' Let It Be up for auction. This is going to be a $65. I'll do this for a $55 start. $55 start, 55. Near mint and pristine. We have a 2-page Japanese flip. Very nice cover with Obi. This is UK Flag Series number 13. The Beatles, Let It Be, $55 start. Auction number 2 is going to be Billy Joe Glass Houses. Billy Joe Glass Houses. Near mint and pristine. Looks unplayed. It may be unplayed. There's the original inner sleeve with lyrics. There's the Japanese insert, once again with lyrics. And a perfect cover in shrink wrap, Obi, and hype sticker. That's Billy Joe Glass Houses. $35 start. Condition of U2. It's near mint. I mean, cover is really nice too. But the vinyl, you're going to be very happy. That's $34.99. Unforgettable Fire. A Sort of Homecoming, Pride, Wire, The Unforgettable Fire, Bad, Indian Summer Sky. Great, all great stuff. The Monty Python Instant Record Collection. from 1977, $34.99. The Monty Python Instant Record, the pick of the best of some recently repeated Python hits again, Volume 2, $34.99. Foreigner, their self-titled debut album, Foreigner self-titled, $19.99. Here at Last, Bee Gees Live, the Bee Gees Live, $19.99. Rod Stewart, Body Wishes. Rod Stewart is $14.99. Frank Sinatra, just one of those things. Frank Sinatra is $14.99. And another Mott the Hoople. We had this one the other night. I said we don't see it too often, and we don't. $24.99. It's their self-titled first album. This is an original Atlantic pressing from 1970. Yep, 1970. I should keep one of these. $24.99. Okay, back up to the top. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Tanner, fair warning, my phone is on low power mode. If we could get an Apple Thunderbolt charger in your spare time, I could greatly use it. Fred Carnell's at 55 on the Beatles. That's going twice, going 3 times. We had 35, then 40 on Billy Joel. Fred Carnell is going to claim the U2. That's sold to Fred Carnell. That's sold to Fred. Joanne, you were second. Austin Caldron first on the Foreigner. Wayne Titz were first on Mott the Hoople. That's sold to Mr. Wayne. And Clay Moore on Rod. That was Rod Stewart, Body Wishes. Glass Houses Deets, for sure thing. The details on this, Jason, near mint and pristine. It has the insert and inner sleeve, covers and shrink wrap, Obi, hype sticker. You guessed it on the vinyl, pristine. High bid is Tony Shore at $40. Then we have a near mint copy of Let It Be. Let It Be is at $55, and I'm about to sell that. Thank you. I will take that and plug up right here. I'll keep it right here. I still can see it. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the prices again. I'm just going to read what's left in here as far as titles. I'm just going to read titles because we still got 2, 4, 6 more crates of vintage to go through. 6 more crates of vintage to go through. Unbelievable. And I'm going to try to do all that in the next hour and a half hour. So we're going to go through a lot. Final call on these. Never mind. Jason F's at 45 on Glass Houses. If you need prices, just let me know. If you want a price, just let me know. I'm going to read the titles. Tom Jones, Green Green Grass of Home, The Crusaders, At Their Best. Mott the Hoople, Rock and Roll Queen. Carol Puckett wants me to show the back of these. There's the back of Rock and Roll Queen. Dave Edmonds, Repeat When Necessary, $14.99. Pipes of Peace, Paul McCartney. John Cale, Music for a New Society, Climax Blues Band, gold plated. Mott the Hoople Mott. There's the back of Mott the Hoople Mott. Moondog Matinee, the band. Mott the Hoople Brain Capers. Neil Young Reactor. Wildlife Mott the Hoople. The Crusaders Unsung Heroes. The Doors Strange Days. It's a repress, but surprised no one got that. A very nice vintage copy of, to me, a tough to get Doors album in any condition. Brian Eno, Discreet Music. Ringo Starr, Blast From Your Past. Blast From Your Past. Does Brain Capers have an insert? Brain Capers has an original inner sleeve. It has an original inner sleeve from Atlantic, no insert. Tony Shore wants Brian Eno, Discreet Music. That's sold to Tony Shore. Here's the red one, Brain Capers. A lot of interest in this back cover. Let's go ahead and sell Fred Carnell, The Beatles, for $55. That's sold to Fred Carnell. High bid on Billy Joel is Tony Shore at $50. He has the Billy Joel at $50. That's going twice, going 3 times now. Let me grab a new auction, and we're going to put up a Japanese 7-inch single right quick. This is a really cool one. Let's do the Beatles. We just sold the Beatles. Let's do another one. This has got some great, 2 great tracks on it, great artwork. Obla Dee Obla Da, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. $20 start. $20 start, near mint pristine, Apple 7-inch single. There's the original Apple sleeve. There's the inner picture sleeve with the lyrics on the back. That's a $20 start. $20 start. Okay, Eno, we're on YouTube. It's just under the wrong title. We can't fix it until we restart. We're on YouTube, but it's the wrong title. So if you're trying to find the YouTube feed, feed, you can go over there and find it. Andrew Pulicino is at 55 on Billy Joe. So Tony Shore, you're out on Billy Joe. And Jason's back in at 56. Jimmy Messina, Oasis, is $9.99. Neil Young, American Stars and Bars. The Tubes Live, Passport, Deep Purple, Bee Gees Odessa, Rita Coolidge, Jay Ferguson, Thunder Island, Roger McGuinn, The Kinks, Carla Bonoff, Thelma Houston and Pressure Cooker, Monty Python, The Bee Gees Live, and Frank Sinatra. I'm going to do everything in here, sticker price right now. Doors, I see an offer on the Doors and Passport. We can revisit these later tonight. Probably part 2. We're going to have so much new vintage tonight. We'll go back through them a second time. So if you can stick with me, unless maybe you want to make a better offer. I did a discount earlier at 10%. So like that means if there's a $15 record in there, I may discount it. If I do, it's going to be something like a couple dollars off. So, you know, that's what I'm thinking on those. I've got a whole nother bin of new arrivals here. And I think this is some of the stuff that I've recently got. It is. And I got another Billy Idol that's definitely to be put up for auction. There's a couple other records in here that I think some people have been waiting on. And there's some new stuff in here. I don't know what it is, it looks like. Okay. A couple interesting titles in here. So, Alan says he'll take the Passport. Thank you. We had one of those the other night. I sold in a bundle deal that I had priced $14.99. But, Alan, thank you. And then whoever offered 30 on the Doors, I'm still at $34.99 on that one for right now. Could it be a few dollars cheaper in a few hours? Probably, but right now, sticker price. So, this is sold to Alan for $14.99, which was sticker. Who offered that for the Doors? So, Chris, the Doors is $34.99. Maybe different in a few hours, but I think that's such a nice record. Okay, all the Mott the Hooples were $24.99. All the Mott the Hooples in there every one of them was $24.99. Final call on these two auctions. Andrew's at 67 on Billy Joel. Andrew Pulicino's at 67 on Billy Joel. Austin Cauldron has the Beatles single for 20. That's a final call. They're still bidding on this. We've went back and forth a few times. Thunder Island was $14.99 by Jay Ferguson. And Carol Puckett, all the Mott the Hooples were $24.99. New vintage arrivals. Yes. Yes songs, $39.99. Yes. Yes songs, $39.99. Face to Face, $14.99. I guess that's self-titled. Face to Face, $14.99. HSAS, Through the Fire, $19.99. Hagar, Sean, Arison, and Shreve, $19.99. Alan Holdsworth. This is called Road Games. Alan Holdsworth, $14.99. Gold stamp promo. Deep Purple is a 2006 purple vinyl reissue. This is Deep Purple, self-titled. Purple vinyl, $39.99. Joe Boxers, Like Gangbusters. Joe Boxers, $14.99. Chip Hall, Thunder Island. Dale Cooper was first to HSAS. Dale Cooper was first to HSAS. Next was Darren Meyer on Yes Condition. These are all EX Plus to Near Mint Minus. Everything in this bin, EX Plus to Near Mint Minus. So I won't be telling you the condition of them. They're all like this, very clean copies. The covers, I'll let you know if they have significant damage. This cover is infamous for having ring wear. This one has light ring wear. I've seen some where they're totally worn out. It's just the color they used, and where there's 3 LPs packed in this tight jacket, it always shows ring wear, but the vinyl looks very nice. So, HSAS went to Dale Cooper. James C. Jones was second. David Eberly was third. Mike Massey was first to Face to Face. That's sold to Mike Massey. Scott Smith, you were fourth or fifth on Hagar. Then David Eberly. Mike Massey first on Joe Boxers. And Darren Meyer does want Yes Songs. And Chip Hall wants Thunder Island from the Last Crate. Chip Hall wants the Thunder Island from the Last Crate. That's sold to Chip Hall. Anybody else can hear that in their head right now? I can. Let's go ahead and sell Austin Cauldron, the Beatles 7-inch. That's sold to Austin for $20. Very nice piece going to Austin. does Billy Joe have all the inserts? It has a cover, it has shrink wrap, it has a hop sticker, it has an obi, it's got a sleeve that we put it in, it's got a Japanese insert, it has the original inner sleeve, and it has an LP made of vinyl, and it is near mint and pristine, and it's been pressed to play the music that you see here on the cover, which is Billy Joe Glass Houses. And that high bid is Andrew Pulicino at $67. Going twice, going 3 times. Andrew, you have that for $67. Going twice, going 3 times. I have a copy of Billy Idol. Billy Idol, $25 start. White Wedding. Original inner sleeve, $25 start. Really clean vinyl, EX Plus, near mint minus. $25 start on Billy Idol. That's our next auction. Darren Meyer, I've got Yes Songs pulled for you. Back to the crate. Leo Kottke, My Father's Face. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Leo Kottke, 1999, My Father's Face. Greg Lake, Maneuvers. I've never seen this before. This Greg Lake solo album. Maneuvers. Gold stamp promo, $14.99. I've definitely seen this. The Moody Blues, Long Distance Voyager, $14.99 on the Moody Blues. Deep Purple Fireball. This is a German pressing, and I'll have to say, it's a very nice looking German pressing. Deep Purple Fireball. It's got a back cover, pristine vinyl, German pressing, $29.99. Deep Purple Fireball. Very nice. Laminate flip back, or I guess technically a gatefold. I don't know what you call that technically. So, all right. Let's see here. What have I missed? Okay, so we had, I'm about to sell Billy Joe for $67 as soon as I get to the bottom of the feed, unless there's a bid. Billy Idol, $25, Billy Idol, $25, Billy Idol, $25, $26. Jeff McMaster on GL, that's Greg Lake. Jeff McMaster was first to Greg Lake, Tony Shore second, Mike Cochran third, Billy Idol 30. Scott Smith was fourth on Greg Lake. Billy Idol 30, Billy Idol 30, 31, 32, 35, 36. That means Andrew Pulicino does get the Billy Joe. That's sold to Andrew for $67. That's Glass Houses. That's sold to Andrew Pulicino. And then now Billy Idol is in slot number 1. Let me not pull another Billy album. Let me grab something else right quick, which is going to be... it's going to be a... Well, we have one more pricey Japanese pressing left. I think we've sold 3 for all around. We've sold 2 for about this price. I finally got one myself. Here's another one. Rush Power Windows, a Japanese press. $125 start. Rush Power Windows. Near mint pristine. Japanese press. There's the LP. There's the insert. There's Rush. Looking very 80s. Looking very 80s, especially Getty. Pristine cover with Obi. That's $125. That's up for bid. So is Billy Idol. Back to the crate. We have Atlanta Rhythm Section, Underdog. Atlanta Rhythm Section is $9.99. The Temperance Movement, White Bear. 2016 white vinyl, $34.99. The Temperance Movement. Green Slade is a 1973 UK press, $24.99. Green Slade. What a cool cover. $24.99. That's a 73 UK press. The Brecker Brothers. The Brecker Brothers is sealed from 1980, $29.99. This is a super disc, sealed. Super disc, sealed. The Temperance Movement, 2013 UK, $34.99 for the Temperance Movement. Titus Andronautics, Stadium Rock, live at Shea Stadium, Brooklyn, New York, $19.99 from 2016. Jefferson Starship, Freedom at Point Zero. Jefferson Starship is $14.99. Freedom at Point Zero. That one has Jane on it. Very nice looking copy. Les Brennigans. No? Brigans. Nothing's clean. Brigands, maybe. Looks like it's on yellowish vinyl. Beer colored vinyl, of course, $24.99. That's from 2015. Okay, high bid on Billy Idol was 41 with Ron Stoltz. That's going twice, going 3 times. Tony Shore was first to Green and the Brecker Brothers. Those are both sold to Tony Shore. I think the Scorpions are only being released through their website. Just like everybody that wanted a copy of Quicksand Slip. If you wanted a copy of that Quicksand Slip, I think that's either being sold through their website or it's like a Newberry Comics exclusive or one of these companies that do exclusives. I can't get the Quicksand Slip. That's actually not in print on any kind of version. I can't get it through anybody. I've checked and checked. And I think the same thing is going on with the Scorpions. I think those are only through their website. And I think Ed told me that the other day, and I may have misunderstood him, but that's through their website. So, okay, Wayne Tisworth first on Starship. That's sold to Wayne. Mike Massey on Loss. Mike knows what this is. Billy Idol's at 42, now 43. Fireball Condition, Billy Idol 45. Rob, we've already sold Green Slade. Let me figure out what Fireball was. Or is that something we've already sold? No, Fireball, Pristine. The P word, Pristine. In Harmony, a Sesame Street record, $19.99. This has George Benson, Dr. John, James Taylor, Livingston Taylor, Lucy Simon, Wendy Waldman. James Taylor, I think, would be very successful narrating children's stories. That'd be very cool to listen to, or just narrating stuff in general. A German press, or some kind of foreign press, Sesame Street, $19.99. Clay Moore, you were second on Starship. That was $14.99. Starship is already sold. Wayne got it, $14.99. Scott Corcoran wants Deep Purple. We'll make sure Rich Group doesn't want it. If Rich Group doesn't want it, then we'll sell it to Scott Corcoran. That was Deep Purple Fireball. Somebody's going to get it. Billy Idol's at 46. Paul, we're looking for an opening bid of $125. It's perfect. It's perfect. $125 Rush Power Windows. That's become one of my favorites. I don't know. I like the Hold Your Fire, Signals, Power Windows. I'm starting to like those more than just about anything. Brian C. on the Sesame Street record. That's sold to Brian C. We'll see if Rich Group wants Fireball, if not Scott Corcoran. Drag City, Jan and Dean, $14.99 for Jan and Dean. The Power and the Glory, Gentle Giant. This is a 2010 reissue, $34.99. Gentle Giant, The Power and the Glory. That's a 2010 reissue, $34.99. Fireball was $29.99. $29.99. Robert Johnson first to Jan and Dean. Uriah Heep, Wonder World. Uriah Heep is $19.99. Wonder World, $19.99. Champagne Jam, Atlanta Rhythm Section, $9.99. Atlanta Rhythm Section. The Mason Williams phonograph record. This has classical gas on it. If you're always wondering which Mason Williams album has classical gas, it's this one, $9.99. David Lee Roth, Eat 'em and Smile, $34.99. David Lee Roth, Eat 'em and Smile. Just wait for the comments to roll in on that one. Little River Band, Sleeper Catcher, $9.99 for Little River Band. Willie Nelson, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, $14.99. Willie Nelson, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Lee Greenwood's Greatest Hits, God Bless the USA. Yes, it's on here. $9.99, Lee Greenwood. Tower of Power. I don't think I've ever had this one. Live and in Living Color, $19.99. The Best of Elton John, Volume 2, $24.99. Look at all those tracks. Amazing stuff, $24.99. Back to the top. We got Jan and Dean for, the Billy Idol Condition. It was near mint minus. Near mint minus. I just picked this one up in that collection yesterday. Near mint minus, really nice. By the way, some of the stuff I got yesterday in Old Hickory, which if y'all are out of state, Old Hickory is a town just outside of Lebanon here. I bought about 1,000 albums there, somewhere around 900, 800, somewhere, I don't really know. I counted them, and we plus or minus about 50. I think there's closer to 900. But really good stuff. I mean, just classic rock, clean copies. There's some stuff that's played. We're going to have a lot of check condition stuff, VG+, but there's also Like there's 3 copies of Dark Side of the Moon. There's one that's near mint, there's one that's played, and then there's one that's trashed. Same thing with like the Allman Brothers first album. He had an Allman Brothers first album. There's one that's near mint. There's one that I'm probably going to put VG or VG Plus on. Classic rock, you know, Zeppelin, the entire discography, Pink Floyd, all the big mainstream classic rock. It was a really good collection. We'll start showing that stuff as soon as tomorrow. I'll try to do a hype video or a hype post for that. So, okay, that's just an update, so you'll tune back in tomorrow. So, high bid on this, Ron Stoltz was at $46. Final call. We got Jan and Dean with Robert Johnson. Tony Shore wants the Gentle Giant. Going back several. Tony Shore got Gentle Giant. Yes, I'm into the synth era of Rush. That describes it perfectly. John Porter on Uriah Heep. Jim Engelman, the lucky winner on the David Lee Roth. Jim Engelman. John Mintzmoyer was second. Vincent's at 50 on Billy Idol. Bob Riger third on David Lee Roth. Brian C. 4. Michael J. first on Atlanta Rhythm. Atlanta Rhythm section. That sold to Michael J. Jeff McMaster first on TP, which was Tower of Power. That sold to Jeff McMaster. Josh Ragland on Willie Nelson. That sold to Josh Ragland. Tony Shore, you were next on Tower of Power. John Porter first on Elton John. And after long deliberation, Richard Group says he will take the Deep Purple Fireball. Carlene, you were second on Elton John. Doc Smith, you were third on Tower of Power. And the Uriah Heep that just sold was Wonderwall. So just so we know, we did have a new bid on Billy Idol. Vincent bid $50. Ron Stoltz, that means you're out. Ron Stoltz, you're out. You can bid again, or you can let me know if you're out. If not, that's going to go to Vincent for $50. And I'm about to make Rush a buy it now. I'm in the middle of this bin, though. Pretty hot and heavy. So, Birds of Fire, Mahavishnu Orchestra, a 2010 pressing, $49.99. $49.99 for Mahavishnu Orchestra. Heart Magazine, $19.99 for Heart Magazine. Don Henley, Building the Perfect Beast, $19.99. Heart Little Queen, $19.99. The New Sound Orchestra presents music from Close Encounters, Star Wars, and a 2001 Space Odyssey. Look at that spaceship. It's like they've combined a bunch of stuff together. $19.99, space music compilation. Simply Red, Men and Women, $19.99, Simply Red, and Eye in the Sky. Eye in the Sky is $19.99, Alan Parsons Project. Mark Shelton, first on Mahavishnu Orchestra. Next comment was Rydell Martin on Heart. And he's going to let us know which one he wants. He may take both of them. He was first, and he can have dibs on either one, Rydell Martin. Paul Brothers, Rush 125. I'm going to go ahead and sell it to you. Paul Brothers gets the Rush for $125. No one else bid. I'm about to end these auctions anyway. Paul Brothers gets that for $125. Excellent decision. You're not going to make a better decision all night, Paul. You're not going to make a better decision all night. Let's see. Rydell Martin says he does not want magazines. So Rydell Martin gets Heart, Little Queen. Next was Michael Nath, and then Ron wants both. So Michael Nath, let me know if you want magazine. If you pass, that goes to Ron. So all the hearts are gone. They're going to go to somebody. Ron Stoltz, let me know if you're in or out on Billy Idol. The high bid is $50. Let me know if it's $50. Okay. Robert Johnson was first to the Space Comp. Joanne Reeve was first to SR. That has to be for Simply Red. Chris Kirkley was second. Nick Todd first on Alan Parsons. Chip Hall wants both Hearts and Don Henley. And then he said, never mind. Well, both Hearts are already sold, but this is still available. Rob Scheffler, you were second on the Space Comp. Joanne, I've got you down for Simply Red. Michael Nath passed on Heart Magazine, so that means that goes to Ron, and he says he also passes, and he's out. So actually, Heart Magazine's in this stack, Tanner, and I don't think anybody has claimed that one, so we can put that one back. And he said out on Billy Idol. That means Billy Idol is sold to, I believe, Vincent. Vincent Dinga gets that for $50. So Heart Magazine is still available, and Don Henley. The Exorcist 2, the Heretic soundtrack. Music by Ennio Morricone, an original Exorcist 2 soundtrack. $29.99. The Beverly Hills Cop, $19.99. Beverly Hills Cop, $19.99. Superman the movie soundtrack, $29.99 on Superman the movie. The Guitars That Destroyed the World, very cool comp, $19.99. The Guitars That Destroyed the World, very cool comp. I've listened to that multiple times. $19.99. James Brown Sex Machine, that's in shrink wrap, $39.99. James Brown Sex Machine, original press, and Men at Work, business as usual, $24.99. Who can it be now? The Men Down Under. Huge seller, huge seller. Okay, Brandon Jackson was first to Beverly Hills Cop. Craig Weatherford second. Michael Nath first on guitars. James C. Jones was second. Michelle, you were third on Beverly Hills Cop. Joanne Ree first at Men at Work. Brian C. was second. And Joey Garland first on James Brown Sex Machine. Let's go through that crate one more time. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I'll even read the prices one more time. And let me put up 2 new Japanese auctions. I've got some more 7-inch singles from Japan, including some really cool Queen. Let me grab that. And unbelievably tonight, the only Japanese pressing that has not sold is a Led Zeppelin. What do you think about that, Tanner? I'm kind of worried about the future of the world right now, to be honest with you. Oh my gosh. Next Japanese pressings. We have a 7-inch of Killer Queen. Original Japanese 7-inch Killer Queen. $20 start. What we call in the 45 world, unplayed, which means it looks very, very nice. There's the original Japanese sleeve, original inner sleeve. $20 start on Queen, Killer Queen. And one of the biggest selling albums of all time, the Eagles Hotel California. The Eagles Hotel California. Oh, it does have a poster. This is going to end up being a pristine, complete copy. Near mint minus on the vinyl. Here's the poster. Complete with poster and the original insert. Beautiful cover. Almost no signs of wear. Corners. Gatefold. $55 start on the Eagles Hotel California. $55 start on that. Queen, Austin's already in at $20. Here is the Led Zeppelin. It is Presence. It's a $65 buy it now. $65 buy it now. There's the original inner sleeve. Achilles' Last Stand. For Your Life. Nobody's Fault But Mine. That's a great one. For Your Life. That's a good one too. Japanese insert, near mint and pristine. That's a $65 buy it now. There probably just wasn't some people watching earlier. Joanne, that's yours if you want it. If Joanne passes, Michael Nath, I see that you've made an offer, but if you want it for $65, you've got dibs. If not, Andrew Showen wants it. He's third. Patty is fourth. So we got 4 people. We got 2 people for sure that want it. Okay. Where was we at? No bid yet on the Eagles. We got a bid on Queen. We got 2 bids on Queen. One more time on this bin. Some great stuff still left. Allen's Holdsworth. This is Road Games, $14.99. Deep Purple was on purple vinyl from 2006. That's $39.99. Leo Kottke, $19.99. My Father's Face. Long Distance Voyager, The Moody Blues, $14.99. Atlanta Rhythm Section, Underdog, $9.99. Atlanta Rhythm Section, Underdog. Very nice copy. We got a couple of albums by the Temperance Movement. The Temperance Movement, White Bear, $34.99. The Temperance Movement, that appears to be self-titled, $34.99. Titus Andronicus, live at Shea Stadium, $19.99. Mason Williams Phonograph Record, Classical Gas, $9.99. Little River Band, Sleeper Catcher, $9.99. Lee Greenwood, Greatest Hits, God Bless the USA, $9.99. Don Henley, Building the Perfect Beast. This has his hit song, The Boys of Summer on it. $19.99. Don Henley from the Eagles. The Exorcist 2 soundtrack, $29.99. Superman was $29.99. And Heart Magazine was put back. It's still available, $19.99. So who ends up getting it? Andrew Showen. Andrew Showen was first to claim the Zeppelin as a buy it now. And then Patty, I believe you may have been a first-time customer. Andrew. For some reason I want to say Neil Sean, but it's Andrew Showen. I have to stop myself mentally every time. Neil Sean is a member of Journey, I think. I don't know why, but Andrew, I see your name, and I want to say Neil Sean. He was new last week. That's Andrew Showen. Thank you. That's yours for $65. Because Joanne and Michael passed. We do have a bid on the Eagles at 55. Joanne Reeve. Austin's at 22 on the Queen. Chip Hall wants the Don Henley. That's sold to Chip Hall. Colin Butler wants the Exorcist. And Danica's at 56 on the Eagles. And Chris says after long deliberation, he'll take the Doors at full price. Okay. And Queen's at 23. So Doors, Strange Days, that is sold to Chris DiLorenzo at $34.99. Now I've just got to find it. That's the next challenge. I think it was literally in the last crate, so it should be right in here. And I've got more and more new arrivals to show you. I don't think we have any more new vinyl, really, do we? Because a lot of that pre-sold, and the rest is all Rush and Cherry Pies, right? Do we have another crate? Oh, we do. We got one more crate of new vinyl. Let me run through that very quickly. We need to do those sooner than later, so let me run through that. And Danica, you are the high bidder on the Eagles at 55, and that means Joanne, you're out. You can bid again, or you can say out, and I'll wrap that up and sell it to Danica unless somebody else bids. And then the Killer Queen 7-inch Japanese single, we got Chris and Austin bidding on that. That is up for bid. Let's grab some new vinyl. Let's see what's in here. I think there's some stuff I've never had, some restocks, and some pre-orders from last week that we didn't have enough of, and now we actually can show the stock. Like Bret Michaels presents a Salute to Poison. Bret Michaels presents a Salute to Poison. That's on purple splatter vinyl. We pre-sold a lot of these. They should be on your invoice from last week. These are $34.99. Bret Michaels presents a Salute to Poison, $34.99. Enough's Enough. Enough's Enough's Greatest Hits. This is on limited edition purple splatter vinyl. Limited edition purple splatter vinyl. New release that came out last week. We're just now getting them in where I can show them. Enough's Enough is $33.99. We got a big restock of, once again, Taylor Swift. This is Evermore. Evermore is on green vinyl. Taylor Swift, Evermore, $31.99. All right, update on our auctions. Danica was at 56. Joanne's out. So final call on the Eagles. Never mind. Alex bid $57. So new bidder. Alex is at $57. Chris is out on the Queen. So we can probably go ahead and sell that to Austin at $24. But this is the final call. Amy Hutchings wants a Bret Michaels. That's sold to Amy. Alex is at 57 on the Eagles. Chip Hall wants Magazine from that last crate of vintage. That's sold to Chip Hall. Magazine, that's sold to Chip Hall. Joanne's out on the Eagles. Vincent Dinga on Bret Michaels. If you're new, we have a group where I post pre-orders for most of these new releases. So I posted this months ago. This was actually announced like at the end of last year. They kept pushing it back and pushing it back. So it just came out last week. It's been up for like 8 months probably. Make sure you're in our group. I post pre-orders. I've posted several today, especially Music on Vinyl. We get Music on Vinyl direct from one of their U.S. distributors that's here, fairly local to us. So we get a lot of great allocations on Music on Vinyl titles. That's why we get like 200 copies of Warrant albums, and Amazon don't get any. We get probably better Music on Vinyl allocation than some of the big stores. So make sure you order, especially when you see Music on Vinyl titles with us. Bret Michaels, that one was Vincent. Tony Shore wants Enough's Enough. That's sold to Tony Shore. Ron Stoltz wants a Bret Michaels. That's sold to Ron Stoltz. Danica's back in on the Eagles at 58. Ron Stoltz got a Bret Michaels. Vincent Dinga on Enough's Enough. Eric S. on Bret Michaels. Eric S. on Bret Michaels. And Eric S. also wants Enough's Enough. Those are all sold. I got one copy of Bret Michaels left. And so Taylor Swift, Evermore, $31.99. I have those in stock. We've got 2 copies. I haven't had this in a while of Pink Misunderstood. Pink Misunderstood, $36.99. This originally came out in 2001. Alex, you're out on the Eagles. High bid on that is with Danica at $58. Let's go ahead and sell Austin the Queen for $24. That's sold to Austin for $24. Bob Marley, we need to pull one for Doc Smith. Doc Smith, I'm pulling, we haven't had this one yet. Bob Marley Survival. Bob Marley Survival is $36.99. Doc Smith wanted one of each. I hadn't pulled those yet. That's Doc Smith's. And this one is sold to Greg Stone. Greg Stone. Anybody else wants one of these, please let me know why I can order them. This is the Tough Gong Preston Jamaica limited and numbered series they're doing for these. That's Doc Smith. This is Greg Stone's. Colin, I will take down your name. Craig Weatherford wants a pink, misunderstood. I have one of those left. Alex is back in on the Eagles at 59. Danica's right back in at 60. The other Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift Folklore. Taylor Swift Folklore. That one's also $31.99. U2, the best of U2, 1990 to 2000. $49.99. The best of U2 from 1990 to 2000. Those are $49.99. We got a restock of Depeche Mode, A Broken Frame. Depeche Mode is $28.99, A Broken Frame. We have two of those on hand. George Harrison. We've been selling the heck out of these as OGs, and I never can have enough. So here is the new, remastered from the original analog master stereo tapes, 180-gram vinyl, George Harrison, Cloud 9, $36.99. $36.99. Greg Stone says, I wanted Brett. Greg Stone, I may have misunderstood something there. Brett said, Greg wanted Bob Marley instead of, got it. Right, okay, gotcha. Greg Stone commented BM. That was for this right here, Brett Michaels, and not Bob Marley. Who did I say got Bob Marley? Okay, I did say Greg Stone because he put BM right when I showed Bob Marley. So this goes to Greg Stone. That means Colin, you do get that Bob Marley. We'll change that name to Colin Butler. Scott Smith on Depeche Mode, DM. That's sold to Scott Smith. Tony Shore and Jerry Stone on George Harrison. And I can still get these. I knew I could at least sell 2 or 3. I got 2. I can get more if anybody else wants on the waiting list for this. $36.99. $36.99. Those are sold to Tony and Jerry. Brian C., I'll put you on a waiting list if that's okay. Update on the Eagles. Alex is at $65 on the Eagles. Danica, you're out. Let me know if you're out for sure or you can bid again. 2 copies of Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger. Bad Motorfinger, $39.99. Rusty Cage, Outshine, Slaves and Bulldozers, Jesus Christ Pose. Does this have Searching? Well, yes, Searching with My Good Eye Closed. Soundgarden. I've got 2 of those. And I've got 2 copies of Taylor Swift Midnights. I've got the Moonstone and the Jade. Moonstone, there's Taylor, and there's some more Taylor. Those are $34.99. Marshall Bassett, just let me know which one you want. Moonstone is this one. That's the color of the vinyl, and we have Jade. Brian C., he says he's okay with the wait list. So this crate, most of what's left is Taylor Swift. We never have them for the store, and when we do, they sell out very quickly. This is Taylor Swift Evermore, $31.99. We have 1 copy of Pink left, Misunderstood. The other Taylor Swift is called Folklore. That's $31.99. $36.99 for Pink, Misunderstood. 1 copy of U2 left, the best of 1990 to 2000. 1 copy of Depeche Mode left. 2 Soundgardens, and then we'll figure out which of those he wanted. He wanted Midnights, and he wants the Moonstone edition. That's sold to Marshall Bassett. We're still bidding on the Eagles, 66, 67 with Alex Roman. Aaron Jolly wants Depeche Mode. Aaron Jolly on Depeche Mode. Okay, let me make sure. I think there was a waiting list for that. There's all the cherry pies. The Enough's Enough greatest hits was Susie Breelove and Dwayne Sevilla. Susie and Dwayne, you was on a pre-order for that. I ran out last week. Heather Perry, your Tupac came in. All Eyes on Me. That's it. I thought there was maybe a Depeche Mode, but there wasn't. All right, let me grab a crate of new vintage vinyl. Alex is at 67 on that. Alex is at 67 on that. Let me see what's in this next crate. Let me pick between these 2. The Beatles. Yeah, this is some stuff I just bought. Let's put this up for auction. It seems like people's always asking for this soundtrack. Streets of Fire. Music from the original motion picture soundtrack, Streets of Fire. That was in that collection I bought the day before last. That's a $20 start. It's a near mint copy. Streets of Fire. OG, of course. 1984. $20 on that. A Rock and Roll Fable. $20 start on that. This crate has got some pretty cool stuff in it. Yeah, I was about to say, where's all those Talking Heads albums I got? Here they are. Talking Heads, Talking Heads. John, I have found the crate of stuff that I bought the day before last. Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to leave some of these in here. There's a Billy Idol. Let me figure out what I want to auction. And let me flip through these one more time. Yeah, there were some great records. I should have done a flip video. I miss out on a lot of videos I can make for y'all. It's just we're always so busy and having to move these. The places I go to buy these records are really cool. I wish I had a film crew with me to film it and document it, but so okay. Is somebody wearing out the emojis button? I can't turn that off. I'm sorry. It's either probably somebody that don't know what they're doing or they fell asleep on their phone or something. I did finally. Y'all know how you can send stars on Facebook? After 3 years, Facebook has finally sent me my first payment of stars, which I tell everybody, don't send those because Facebook holds all that money. They make a fortune off the interest and all that. I mean, it's kind of, I've told everybody, just don't, I'd rather you buy a record than send me $5 worth of Facebook stars. But I finally got my first payment. It was actually a lot more money than I realized I'd accumulated. And that was over like the last 3 years because they've been doing that since like 2020, the Facebook stars thing. They finally deposited my money after 3 years. Facebook finally sent me my first stars payment. So if you've ever sent me stars, I finally got my money. It's like a tip. So thank you. But don't do it unless you absolutely want to. I can't hold you. I can't make you not, I guess. I guess I can turn it off. Let's sell the Eagles to Alex Roman for $67. Alex gets the Eagles for $67. Streets of Fire, 22. 20, then 22. Now 25. And you can tell us how much. It was a few $100s. It was a few $100s. So, yeah, I don't mind telling you. It was a few $100s. It was like 336 or something like that. It's pretty cool to see it. Like, I got an email. It's like, Facebook sent me money. Usually they're taking my money for advertisements. And I was like, wow, I'll use that for ad money, which I think is what I've probably already used it for. Yeah, I'm not retiring. I'm not retiring. So, all right, another copy of Rebel Yell. $25 start. Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. $25 start. 2 auctions, and then we'll go back to the Japanese stuff. New vintage arrivals. Pay close attention. Jeff Beck, Rough and Ready. Jeff Beck is $19.99. Rough and Ready. ELO, a new world record. ELO is $19.99. A new world record. Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, Riding High. Martha Reeves is $24.99. Not a bad copy whatsoever. We have another one, Sugar and Spice. Sugar and Spice is $19.99. Sugar and Spice, $19.99. Another Martha Reeves, clean copy. And Elton John, I'd contemplating keeping this. It's a 1970 UK press. It's a 1970 UK press. Is this the one? No, I got that one yesterday. Never mind. Different record. This is a 1970 UK press, $39.99. I think I got one yesterday that's on purple vinyl, a UK press. But that is a 1970 Elton John self-titled UK press, $39.99. Elton John self-titled. Supertramp Paris, that's a 2LP live Supertramp, $34.99. Georgia Satellites, the Georgia Satellites is $34.99. Keep your hands to yourself. The Georgia Satellites, $34.99. The Cars, Heartbeat City. The Cars is $34.99 for Heartbeat City. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is his self-titled first album, $34.99. That's a second label or maybe even a third label. Self-titled first album, though. Don't get it as often as we do the others. Traffic, Shootout at the Fantasy Factory. Traffic is $19.99. And Bob Seger, I almost said Sneaker, but it's Seger. Smoking OPs, which is called Smoking Other People's Songs. This is a killer Bob Seger's covers album. Probably one of my favorite go-to Bob Seger albums. He's doing covers, $34.99. Let's get our auctions updated. We got Streets of Fire. Streets of Fire, Tony Shore was at $25 on this. Streets of Fire soundtrack, that's going twice, going 3 times. Billy Idol, we had 25, then 26, and then 30, and then 31. Next claim was Marshall Bassett. He was first to Tom Petty. Marshall Bassett first to Tom Petty. Ron, we've already sold it. Mike Cochran was first to Bob Seger. That was a German pressing of Smokin' OPs. Big Daddy by John Cougar Mellencamp and Shrink Wrap and Hype Sticker, $24.99. $24.99. Alabama. Alabama is $9.99. Feels so right. Very clean copy for Alabama. Kansas, Point of No Return. $19.99 for Kansas, Point of No Return. Dave Polek on JM. JM was for... That might be already sold. What was JM? John Mellencamp. John Mellencamp. That sold to Dave Polek. Heather Perry first on Alabama. Streets of Fire. Fred bid 26. Tony bid 36. That's a big jump. He must really want it. 36 on Streets of Fire. Final call on Billy Idol. $31 to Fred Carnell. $31. And Grant, you were second on Alabama. Billy Joe, Piano Man. No barcode on this one. Should be an original U.S. press. $19.99 for Piano Man. Billy Joe. Beat Street soundtrack, Volume 2. Original motion picture soundtrack, $29.99. Beat Street soundtrack, very clean copy. The Jeff Beck was $19.99, Brian C. $19.99, and that's on the Black Epic label. Michael Nath first on Piano Man. That's sold to Michael Nath. Ron Phillips second. Richard Bedford third. And Josh Ragland fourth. I've never seen a Japanese press of Piano Man, ever. We have all those other Billy Joels. Never seen a Japanese press of Piano Man. We had his first album that night. It was a lot of headbutting on that one. We had the first Billy Joe album, but I don't think we've ever had Piano Man. Jeff Beck Wired, another great one. Jeff Beck Wired, $19.99. Big Audio Dynamite, $19.99. This is a 12-inch single. Come on every Beatbox, Bad Rock City, and Beatbox at Dawn. That's a 3-track maxi single sold to Craig Thomas. Big Audio Dynamite. The Wraith soundtrack, $64.99. Gold stamp promo. The Wraith soundtrack, $64.99. Has Ozzy on it, Honeymoon Suite, Ian Hunter, Lion. This is $64.99, gold stamp promo. Tony Shore was second on Big Audio Dynamite. Billy Idol, 34, now 35. And the Best of the Guess Who. This is the gatefold version. The Best of the Guess Who, original Orange Epic, original Orange RCA label. There's a lot of represses of this because it sold so well. It would with a track listing like this, but this is the original gatefold, $19.99. Okay, so update on Streets of Fire. Let's see if he said in or out after that. Tony Shore bid 36. Fred Carnell was at 26. Tony bid 36. Fred Carnell, let me know if you're in or out on this. Fred Carnell. High bid is $36, going twice, going 3 times. If Fred says he's out, that automatically goes to Tony Shore. So if you want to bid, I recommend doing that right now. High bid on Billy Idol is 36, but to Fred Carnell. 36, Fred Carnell has that. Craig says he passes on Big Audio Dynamite, so give that to Tony Shore. Tony Shore, you get the Big Audio Dynamite. Gloria was first to the Guess Who. Gloria was first to the Guess Who. He says he's out on Streets of Fire. That's sold to Tony Shore for $36. Tony Shore gets that for $36. Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. High bid on that is 36. Vincent says he's out. Changes to David Bowie. This is David Bowie's Greatest Hits Volume 2, $29.99. Changes to $29.99 for David Bowie. ZZ Top's first album, $34.99. ZZ Top's first album. London Blue Stereo label, very clean copy, $34.99. The Cars' Greatest Hits, also $34.99. Just What I Needed, Since You're Gone. You Might Think, Good Times Road, Touch and Go, Drive. Tonight She Comes, My Best Friend's Girl, Let's Go, I'm Not the One, Magic, and Shake It Up, $34.99. Tom Yonowski first to ZZ Top, and Craig Weatherford first to The Cars. He said, he being Vincent, says he's out on Billy Idol. That means Fred Carnell has that for 36. That's going twice, going 3 times. Our next auction is going to be Talking Heads True Stories. Talking Heads True Stories. This is a $35 start Just picked this up day before last. Near mint and pristine, Talking Heads, True Stories. For some reason, we don't, actually the 3 we have over here is the ones we don't get as often. All 3 will be put up for auction. This is True Stories, original inner sleeve, near mint minus vinyl, and really nice cover. Talking Heads, $35 start. Really nice copy. That is now up for auction. That particular album is not in print as a 180-gram reissue. Rat, out of the cellar, $44.99. First time I hadn't auctioned a Rat in a long time. Original inner sleeve, $44.99. It has a crease corner. It's got a pretty significant ding on the corner. The vinyl is fine. $44.99 on Rat, out of the cellar. The Beatles Sessions. This is a 1985 unofficial, and boy, this is a good bootleg. It's got a Parlophone stamp on it. Of course, it's obviously a bootleg. There's nothing on the label, but it looks like something real. It's got a barcode and everything. $44.99, 1985 unofficial on the Beatles Sessions. And that stuff from Let It Be. Looks like stuff from Let It Be. One of those very common Beatles bootlegs. But I hadn't actually ever seen that exact one. Okay, ZZ Top sold and the Cars. Kevin Rawlings was first on Rat. Chip Hall was second. Jessica's at 35 on Talking Heads. Nick Todd wants the David Bowie. Is Kansas still available? It is. That's Kansas Point of No Return. $19.99. Kansas Point of No Return. Very clean copy. Alice, if you want that, just say Kansas sold. Billy Idol is sold to Fred Carnell at $36. Talking Heads is at 35 with Jessica Germay. Going once, going twice. Alice said sold on Kansas. New bid on Talking Heads at 36. I've got another Talking Heads, and I have a Nightmare 4. Nightmare 4 on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is what I'm trying to say. The Dream Master. Featuring the theme Love Kills by Vinnie Vincent Invasion. Vinnie Vincent Invasion. John's got this marked. I'm going to price it. I'm going to put it out for a much cheaper start. It is a promo copy. It is a promo copy. Vinnie Vincent, Blondie. Also appears on here, Go West. Performed by The Angel from Angel City. Gold stamp promo label. About a VG Plus cover because of where it's black, especially around the borders. It definitely shows some wear. The vinyl is really, really nice though. And this is a $55 start. $55 start. The vinyl's near mint minus. About a VG Plus cover overall. It is a promo copy. A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Promo copy. $55 start on that. Okay. Talking Heads, 37, 38. Nightmare, 55, 55. Magical Mystery Tour, $39.99. This is a very clean Apple pressing. Very clean Apple pressing. So not an original, but not a bad reissue to have. $39.99 stereo pressing of Magical Mystery Tour. Of course, it's a gatefold. It includes the book, which is actually attached. Hey, the book is attached. The book is attached. $39.99 for Magical Mystery Tour. That's an Apple pressing. And that is sold to Josh Ragland. High bid on Talking Heads at $40. Darren Meyer, you were second on Magical Mystery Tour. George Thorogood, Maverick. $19.99 for George Thorogood and Destroyers Maverick. Boy, that was a nice looking copy. George Thorogood. Miami Sound Machine, Eyes of Innocence. Miami Sound Machine, $14.99. I will have to say, I don't recall ever seeing this one. That's why I picked it out. You know, I was in this place buying all these records that had been left behind. These people bought a house here locally, and they had a storage shed, and a lot of these records were left behind from the previous owner. And so they just wanted to kind of, you know, sell them. They're doing some renovations to the house they just bought so they could use the extra money. And so I came and bought a bunch of records from them. So I picked out only the best stuff that wasn't damaged and was really nice condition. I left behind about 800. Unfortunately, a lot of them had been damaged or not stored properly, but some of these are beautiful. I mean, they're absolutely, looks like they're unplayed. Heart, Dreamboat Annie. $22.99, Dreamboat Annie, $22.99. That was one that was in the hot picture, or like the little preview picture I posted. It's got a little bit of damage right there. Other than that, the vinyl's fine. $22.99. The Four Tops Anthology, This is a 3LP Four Tops compilation, $39.99. This probably has every Four Top song you would ever want to listen to, like Baby I Need Your Lovin' and I Can't Help Myself and Bernadette. Those are all on here, $39.99. Okay, back to the top so we can update our auctions. Jessica Germay is at 41 on the Talking Heads. We had a couple people bid on Nightmare, and then I didn't see anything else. Danica bid first, and she's the high bidder. Danica's at $55 on the Nightmare on Elm Street 4 soundtrack. Danica's at $55. Talking Heads was at 41. Hendry was first to Miami Sound Machine. Chip Hall was first on Heart. John Porter was second, but John Porter was first on the Four Tops. Wade is in on Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Wade's at $56. Final call and final call. If Darren Meyer still wants the Magical Mystery Tour, he can have it. That's what Josh Ragland said. We'll see what Darren Meyer says. The Best of the Guess Who is $19.99. The Best of the Guess Who. This is the same album that we just sold the gatefold of. This is a later reissue with a different cover. $19.99 on that. Please Please Me by the Beatles. This is a 1976 UK pressing, $49.99. 1976 UK pressing, $49.99. Please Please Me. Of course, the 1963 true first pressings are thousands of dollars. I think most of y'all will settle for that one. The Traveling Wilburys is an OG, $64.99. Original inner sleeve. The Traveling Wilburys, very clean copy. Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and who did I forget? Tom Petty? Bob Dylan, Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, Roy Orbison, and George Harrison. $64.99. Steve Miller Band, Brave New World. Steve Miller Band is $24.99. And the Best of the Beach Boys, $14.99. This is on the Capitol Starline reissue label. Near mint minus vinyl, $14.99. Darren says he will take the Magical Mystery Tour. So change Josh Ragland's Magical Mystery Tour to Darren. Danica is at 60 on the Nightmare on Elm Street. John Porter first on the Guess Who. Let me make sure there was nothing before that. So I've got Danica at 60. I hadn't got to the bottom, though. Eric S. bid 58. We've already got 60. I've also got the wrong date on Facebook. Well, it's probably too late to change it now, but we will when we do a part 2. Austin Cauldron on PPM. That was Please Please Me. That's sold to Austin Cauldron. Craig Proper first on Traveling Wilburys. That's sold to Craig Proper. Label on Steve Miller Band. That's a good question because it's always hard to find the true presses of this. This is on the Green Capital reissue label. That is $24.99. Eric S. is out on Nightmare. Danica has it for $65. I can go ahead and sell the Talking Heads, though, because we have more to sell. Talking Heads is sold to Jessica Jarmay for $41. Jessica, you get that one for $41. Danica's at $65. And let's do another Talking Heads. I've got this one and then one more. Also a $35 start on this one. Stop Making Sense. Original inner sleeve. Near mint minus vinyl. Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. This is a $35 start for the Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. $35 start on that. That's up for bid. They're still bidding on Nightmare. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu, $34.99. Deja Vu. This is a 5-digit reissue. Very clean copy, though. $34.99. Alabama, Mountain Music, $9.99 on Alabama. Sweet Baby James by James Taylor, $24.99. Very nice copy. It is a repress label. Very nice vinyl, though. Till Tuesday, Voices Carry. Till Tuesday is $24.99. And the Cocktail soundtrack. Cocktail soundtrack is $19.99. That features music by John Cougar Mellencamp, Starship, Beach Boys, Fabulous Thunderbirds, Little Richard, Robbie Neville. That's $19.99. And Bad Company, Fame and Fortune. Here's one we don't get as often. This is $19.99 for Bad Company, Fame and Fortune. Okay, we've got Nightmare on Elm Street. We had 65 with Danica, 67 with Wade, then 70 with Danica. Talking Heads, we had 35, 35, 38, 40. Heather Perry first on Alabama. Heather Perry first on Alabama. Andrew Showen, you were second. Talking Heads, 45. Heather Perry wants Till Tuesday and Cocktails. She got both of these back to back. Brian C. was next on TY, which I think was probably for Till Tuesday. Yep, Brian C. was next on that. Michelle was second on Cocktails. Darren Myers at 46 on Talking Heads. Ron Stoltz was third on Till Tuesday. Wayne Carr first on Bad Company. Nick Todd second. Calvin Ward third. Nightmare on Elm Street's at $71. Y'all are almost at the sticker price that we had it marked. You're getting closer. I told y'all we had this marked for a certain price. Danica just made it even closer. Danica's at $75. Talking Heads is at 46 with Darren Meyer. Bachman Turner Overdrive 2, $14.99. Bachman Turner Overdrive 2, $14.99. BCR, Which Earth Are We On? $14.99. I'd never seen that before. BCR, that's why I grabbed it. George Thorogood and the Destroyers is $19.99. The Beatles Apple Tracks, Volume 1. The Beatles Apple Tracks, $49.99. The Beatles Help, nice U.S. Apple pressing, $29.99. And we've got the Beatles' second album, and this is $24.99, and this is a Capitol repress from, that should be from, it's not early, it's a later pressing, $24.99. Okay, Bad Company, Nightmare, $75, Talking Heads, $49. The Wraith was $64.99. Jeff Buckley is available. Jeff Buckley is $33.99. Jeff Buckley Grace is $33.99 if anybody wants one. Darren's out on Talking Heads. That means Tim Tolbert has that for $49. This is Talking Heads, an original press of Stop Making Sense, original inner sleeve. Very nice vinyl. High bid on that is $49 to Tim Tolbert, going twice, going three times. Nightmare on Elm Street is at $75 with Danica. That's going twice, going three times, because Wade says he's out. Gloria is first on Help. The Beatles' Help is sold to Gloria Bowers. Bob Riger wants George Thorogood. Wade's out on Nightmare. Are both Vandellas? Yes, they're on the Gordy Motown label. Gordy Motown label. Yvette wants a copy of Grace. Jason F., let me know if you want one. Yvette Vergara, that's IMLV77. Let's go through that crate one more time. Some great titles still left in here. I'm about to end these two auctions, put up the other Talking Heads, and I'll get back to the Japanese press unless I find something in this other bin I want to auction. Of course, Duran Duran. Oh, this is check condition stuff. Aha. Looks like some nice check condition stuff too, as in nice titles. So those will just be bought now. So yeah, we'll probably resume Japanese presses after this one. Let's go through this crate one more time very quickly. ELO, a new world record, $19.99. Telephone line, So Fine, Living Thing, Do Ya? $19.99. So the two Martha Reeves was Riding High, $24.99, and Sugar and Spice, $19.99. That's the two Martha Reeves. Elton John was a 1970 UK, $39.99. Supertramp Paris, that's a 2LP live, $34.99. Georgia Satellite, self-titled, also $34.99. The Cars Heartbeat City, $34.99. Traffic, Shootout at the Fantasy Factory, $19.99. Beat Street, $29.99 for Beat Street Volume 2 soundtrack. Aaron Jolly takes both of the Martha Reeves. Let's go ahead and end these auctions too. Talking Heads is sold to Tim Tolbert for $49, and Danica got Nightmare on Elm Street for $75. We had it priced for $79.99. I figured we'd get there. $75. That's sold to Danica for $75. Danica gets the Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's see. Where did I get to? Craig Rutherford on L. L was for, where was we? I'm not for sure. Let me know what that was. Jeff Beck, Rough and Ready, $19.99. Jeff Beck Wired, also $19.99. The Wraith soundtrack was $64.99. Gold stamp promo, Ozzy, Secret Loser. Brandon Lack, we have already sold Nightmare. The Beatles Sessions, $44.99. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, $19.99. Maverick, George Thorogood. The Best of the Beach Boys, Surfing USA, Fun, 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 Catch a Wave. That's $14.99. Steve Miller Band, Brave New World, $24.99. Classic album, Deja Vu, $34.99. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. James Taylor, Sweet Baby James, Fire and Rain, Country Road. That was $24.99. BCR was $14.99. Bachman Turner Overdrive, $14.99. Apple Tracks was $49.99. And the only Beatles album left in here is the Beatles' second album, $24.99. You can't do that. Long Tall Sally, please, Mr. Postman, I'll get you. She loves you. Brian C. wants Jeff Beck, Rough and Ready. That's sold to Brian C. Jeff Beck, Rough and Ready. Alan Totten says he'll take the BCR. That's sold to Alan Totten. All right, let me grab a new crate. New crate of vintage coming up. If anybody wants a price confirmation on anything in there, let me know. I'm going to put up the other Talking Heads album, which is Little Creatures. Another near mint copy from that collection I picked up the day before last. This is Talking Heads, Little Creatures. There's the original inner sleeve, near mint and pristine vinyl. That's a $35 start. $35 start. I am looking for the Japanese pressings. Here they are. We're about to do a bin of check condition because we have not done that yet tonight. And there's some great titles, and I'm familiar with them because we just got them. Let me do one of my favorite Japanese pressings next. Maybe somebody watching doesn't own this record already. I think by now y'all have probably realized how much of a Paul McCartney fan I am, especially of his Wings stuff. This is the ultimate Wings collection, especially for the Japanese quality it's on. This is Wings Greatest Hits, near mint and pristine. This is a $55 start. There's the near mint minus LP. Great, perfect inner sleeve. This has the poster with it, and it has the lyric insert. Wings Greatest Hits. Includes such songs as Another Day, Silly Love Songs, Live and Let Die from the James Bond soundtrack, Junior's Farm, With a Little Luck, Band on the Run, Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey, Ha Ha Ha, Let 'Em In, My Love, Jet, that doesn't get old, and Mule of Kintyre, which he can say it, when he says it, it sounds a lot better. That's a $55 start, Wings Greatest Hits. Okay, Talking Heads 35, Talking Heads 35. Let me grab this crate of new arrivals check condition. So, if you're watching, I know we've already had a couple new buyers tonight. If you're new, check condition means we've actually graded these. These are check condition, meaning everything we've put out that I was showing in those other bins, we've guaranteed them. 100% Colectco guarantee. They're EX Plus to near mint minus. We've cleaned them, we've checked them. We promise you they'll play very well. We guarantee them. These are lesser grade records. They're still not bad, especially when I say EX, like Boston here is EX. That is just a couple of ticks away from me not even putting it in this bin. And that means it's got maybe a couple scuffs more than we would like to see for us to go in the non-check condition bin. That's an original label, by the way, orange Epic label. That is $27.99. Then it goes from there. You got EX, then you'll see VG Plus, and then probably the worst you'll see in here is VG. We've had some customers buy some VG records, and they say they play absolutely fine, like maybe some very, very light noise, maybe. So the good thing is they're pretty discounted. Talking Heads, Josh Ragland was in first at $35. Josh Ragland was in first. Joanne, you were second, so you're out. Josh has that for $35. Gloria has the Wings for $55. Now time for the check condition crate. Boston self-titled, EX $27.99. James Brown, this is called Sings Out of Sight, EX copy, $27.99. James Brown Sings Out of Sight. It actually has a hype sticker on it. $27.99, that's EX condition, James Brown. ZZ Top Eliminator, that's a VG copy, $14.99. VG copy Eliminator, $14.99. Another Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. This is the third one I got from that collection. Black Magic, this is EX, $27.99. EX, $27.99. Elton John's Greatest Hits, this is in shrink wrap. The vinyl is a VG Plus, $24.99. The Cars Candy O, VG Plus, $14.99. VG Plus, $14.99 on the Cars. Ringo Starr Ringo, VG Plus, $19.99. That has the booklet with it. And we have Touch. Touch, this is Touch, isn't it? I think it's Touch. A VG copy for $14.99. It's kind of a desirable psych record. VG copy for $14.99 on Touch. Supertramp, Breakfast in America, EX condition, $17.99. Classic album. And David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, The Rise and Fall, EX copy, $32.99. That's the black label repress of that. Very nice though at EX, $32.99. Okay, final call on Wings. Gloria is about to get that for $55. Joanne's back in on the Talking Heads at 38. Jared D. Jagger wants the ZZ Top. That's sold to Jared. Brian Miller was first on the Boston. Brian Miller, if you're a first-time buyer or you hadn't bought from us in a while, thank you, welcome. Make sure you message our page. Make sure you message our page with your email address and your mailing address. We do $7 unlimited shipping. That's sold to Brian Miller for this week. We're going to have 5 more shows this week. Danica, you were second on Boston. John Porter first to the Cars, Candy O. Shane Berry was second. Gary Samuels was third. Josh Ragland back in on Talking Heads at 39. Jeff McMaster wants Touch. Side 2 of Ringo, Sure Thing, is the next comment from John Young. That's side 1. Here's side 2. Doesn't look bad whatsoever. It looks like it has some, it's a VG Plus. It's not really marks, it's more so that acidic transfer. Arthur Maldonado, first on Supertramp. That's sold to Arthur. John Porter, second on Supertramp. Richard Bedford, first through Elton John. Jared DeJagger, first on David Bowie. John was second. He said he'll pass. So, Brian, thank you and welcome. Make sure you message our page. What we do is we invoice every Sunday and Monday. We actually may start getting them out Sunday now since we have automated them, but don't hold us to that. We're going to still say Monday. So we're going to have another show like this tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. $7 unlimited shipping. Talking Heads is not Japanese. No, Talking Heads Little Creatures is a USOG, original inner sleeve, near mint minus. High bid is $42 with Joanne. We're going to sell Gloria Wings for $55. Gloria Wing for $55. 5 more shows. Actually, no, this is the first show of the week, but we didn't have one yesterday. So yes, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 more shows. We might not have one Friday. That's true. We might not have one Friday. So we might actually have 3 more shows. The Mamas and Papas, if you can believe your eyes and ears. This is a Mamas and Papas compilation. VG Plus Holland. VG Plus Holland. This is a Mamas and Papas Greatest Hits. VG Plus $14.99. Fleetwood Mac Bare Trees. VG Plus $17.99. So thanks to Tanner and Craig, they may be right. We actually only have 3 more shows this week. Not even 4 or 3. I've got to have, my family is heavily recruiting me to go to a dinner Friday night for a celebration for my aunt and another aunt's birthday. So I'm like, okay, if we're doing it Friday night, I guess I'll have to miss a show. Let's see here. Talking Heads, $42. Josh is out, so final call on Talking Heads at $42. Wayne, Touch is already sold. Heather Perry is first on Mamas and Papas. Joanne, you were second. Gerard, you were first on Fleetwood Mac. And David Cordell, David Lee Roth already sold. You out, Chris? Okay. Thanks, man. Nice to meet you. I'll be in touch with you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the drinks. I'm about to get another one. All right. He picked out a stack. He bought a lot. He bought a lot while he's back there. He bought a lot while he's back there shopping live, and he's picked out a stack while he's here shopping in the store. So, let's see here. Family comes first. Absolutely. Y'all know what Vito Clorione said, right? Y'all know what Vito Clorione said, right, Seth? Oh, wait. Seth's never seen The Godfather. He wouldn't know. Who can tell me the famous Vito Clorione? Well, you know, he says it. He turns around to Sonny. He points his finger. He tells Sonny something very important. There's a lot of life lessons in The Godfather, okay? Lots of life lessons, especially about family and respect. Let's see. Chad, you need a backup or you'll never get your collect code yet. I know. I'm working on something right now, okay? So we're coming soon. Not the jet. I knew it was you. No, that's not. No one's got it yet. No. Okay, Talking Heads. That's sold to Joanne for $42. Joanne got that for $42. I've never seen that movie. I like the Goodfellas more. Well, you've never seen The Godfather, though. A man who doesn't put family is... You're close, Joseph. You're close. I think the exact words is he turns around, he says, a man who doesn't spend time with his family really isn't a man at all. I think he turns around and says that to Sonny during that first part. I think that's when Bonsa Farai or whoever came in there to ask him to commit murder. There's not always good, you don't want to watch everything in The Godfather, right? I guess you don't want to start getting paid to, do hit jobs like him. So, I mean, he's got to feed his family somehow, though. Okay, next two Japanese pressings. We've got near mint copies of Billy Joel. Billy Joel, The Nylon Curtain. Billy Joel, The Nylon Curtain. Near mint and pristine. Near mint and pristine Japanese pressing. The Nylon Curtain, Billy Joel, $35 start. There's the original inner sleeve. This one has the Billy Joel, the Superhero book. Billy Joel, the Superhero tour book. That is in there. It also has the original 2-page inner sleeve, insert, perfect cover with Obi. This one's 100% complete, $35 start on Billy Joel. Also, classic Foreigner album. Head Games, near mint and pristine. Also, a $35 start on Foreigner Head Games. Foreigner Head Games, $35 start. 2 Japanese inserts, near mint and pristine, $35 start. $35 start. Okay, where are we? Make sure I didn't miss any claims during all the Godfather stuff. Gerard, let's see. That's already been pulled. Seth is fired. Let's see here. There, Michael Nath got it. A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man. That is Vito Clorione, which probably, I guess, Mario Puzo actually wrote that, or somebody did. Whoever wrote the actual screenplay. I'm assuming that's a direct quote from the book. I've read it, but it's been a long time, since high school. The Best of Blondie, VG Plus, $34.99. VG Plus, $34.99, The Best of Blondie. Back to this killer check condition crate. ZZ Top, Tejas, VG copy, $14.99. It has a promo sticker. John didn't say it was a promo copy, so I'm assuming it just has a sticker, but we can check it if we need to. The Alan Parsons Project, iRobot, EX copy, $17.99. EX for iRobot, $17.99. El Dorado is a VG copy, $9.99. El Dorado. Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. This is a VG copy, Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. VG for $14.99. Steve Miller Band, Book of Dreams, a VG copy for $9.99. Original inner sleeve, $9.99 on that one. Sollozzo scene. Yeah, that's I like that one too. The meeting with Sollozzo. Chip Hall, he's at $35 on Head Games. No bids yet on Billy Joel. $35 on Billy Joel, $35 on Head Games. John Porter was first to ZZ Top. Kelly was second. John Ambrosic first to AS, which was... I don't know if that was a miscue or the autocorrect wanted him, and he wanted Michael Jackson. I'm not for sure. But there was a question before that. Blondie have a poster? I don't think so. No poster of Blondie. No poster of Blondie. Doesn't look too bad, honestly, for VG Plus. Just my 2 cents worth. Okay, so John Porter got ZZ Top. John, his MJ might have corrected to AS. What's that? Yeah, so I don't know. So maybe not. If not, then that goes to Doc Smith for MJ. So unless he put MJ and it auto-corrected to AS. I don't know. So we've got to give that one to Doc Smith. Brian C. said, well, that was ELO. So Brian C. gets ELO. And then Foreigner 35 and Foreigner 40. That was ZZ. Okay, so you were third on ZZ Top. So just for clarification, John was third on ZZ Top. Doc got the Michael Jackson. Brian Smith got ELO. Kelly, I'm going to say this one more time. LaFont, which I think is correct. Kelly gets Steve Miller Band. And we got Foreigner 35, now 40. Okay. Easy enough. Steely Dan, Asia, EX 32.99. I think this is the more desirable pressing. I can't remember. I've got a couple of these recently. This is AA. T1AA. I think that's the better pressing of that. I can't remember. I have to go watch that video and refresh my memory. But nevertheless, John Porter was first. Gloria was second. Invoices. Joshua, check your email. One more quick announcement on invoices. We're sending them via email. You may not get one through your Facebook Messenger. I'm going to make a post in the group tonight, probably during break. Check your email. If you don't have one in your email, check your junk folder, your spam folder. If you don't have one in any of those inboxes, even try searching CollectCo. Send us a message and we'll make sure your email address is correct. Brian S. got ELO. Or Brian C. Brian C. got ELO. Yes. Okay, Gloria was second on Steely Dan. Marshall was third. Duran Duran, Rio, EX copy, $22.99. EX copy, $22.99 on Duran Duran, Rio. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle, a VG copy, $9.99. $9.99. Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, EX on the vinyl, not bad whatsoever. 1980, which is OG Winchester Press. Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, Ronnie James Dio, $49.99. Waylon, I've Always Been Crazy, VG Plus, $17.99. Original inner sleeve, VG Plus vinyl, $17.99. Foreigner, high bid on Foreigner is Jason Dobb at $40. Jason has that for $40, going twice, going 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and make Billy Joe a buy it now. Who wants Billy Joe? No one bid. That's complete with the book, inserts and everything. $35 buy it now on that. Next Japanese auction is going to be Queen, the Flash Gordon theme, Japanese press, pristine. The original picture insert, the inner sleeve. B-side is Football Fight. Flash Gordon theme. Very cool Japanese 7-inch. That is a $20 start. $20 start. Okay, Steely Dan. Who got Duran? Arthur Maldonado is first on Duran Duran. Arthur first on Duran Duran. Jared DeJagger first on Black Sabbath. David Cordell second on Duran Duran. It was in my email. Good deal. Jeff McMaster second on Duran Duran. Marshall Bassett first to Waylon. David Bosworth. Mr. David gets the Billy Joe for a $35 buy it now. $35 buy it now. Tony Shores at 20 on Flash Gordon. Final call on Foreigner for 40. Robin Trower in City Dreams. EX copy for $17.99. The best of Bachman Turner Overdrive. An EX copy for $14.99. EX copy for $14.99. The best of Bachman Turner Overdrive. Rubber Soul by the Beatles. This is a 1971 Apple pressing. 71 Apple pressing. EX $32.99. Rubber Soul. Man. That's all I've got to say. Man. $32.99. Rubber Soul. And the White Album is a purple capital. This is EX with photos and the poster. Photos and the poster. So this has all 4 photos and the big poster that folds out with the lyrics on the back. Purple capital label reissue. EX condition, $49.99. EX condition, $49.99. All right, final call on Flash. I'm going to sell Flash the same time I sell Foreigner in about 20 seconds. John Porter was first to Robin Trower. Arthur Maldonado first to BTO. Kelly was second. Alice was third. David Bosworth first to Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. Darren Meyer, you were fourth on BTO. Andrea first to Rubber Soul. Jason F., you were second. And Duran Duran's already sold. We have a waiting list for Ozzy, patient number 9. David Gilmour, About Face. David Gilmour's second solo album from 1984. VG Plus $14.99. David Gilmour, what a voice. The Beatles, 67 to 70. EX copy, US Press, $44.99. $44.99. The Beatles, 67 to 70. Hey, the AC went off. I don't feel like I've got to yell anymore. Tony Shore first on David Gilmour. Let's go ahead and sell Jason Dobb, the Foreigner, for $40. Head games, that's sold to Jason Dobb. And Flash Gordon is sold to Tony Shore for $20. Those are both sold. The Beatles still available. Paul McCartney, Ram, VG copy. VG copy of Ram for $14.99. It is an Apple press, OG. And Meet the Beatles. Meet the Beatles is a Scranton press. That means it should be OG. VG Plus $34.99. Let me check the label. Yeah, should be. There's the label. Feels like it. Looks like it. Cover looks right. That's a VG Plus Scranton press, 34. That should be from 64 then. Brian C. is first on Ram. I believe Beatles is OG. Yeah, I mean, there's the label. I see the IAM in the triangle. I think that's a 64 Scranton press. VG Plus $34.99. That goes to John Young. Gerard was second. All right, I need 2 new Japanese pressings. Let me see what I got in the crate. I've sold all the singles for tonight. Here's what I've got left. John Lennon, the Eagles, Olivia Newton-John, Three Dog Night. I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Cyndi Lauper, John Lennon, the Beach Boys, Jay Giles, the Beatles, Neil Young, the Eagles, Wham, Led Zeppelin, Elvis, Simon & Garfunkel, Santana, the Beatles, I got another Police. We sold one of those earlier. The Beatles, Three Dog Night, and Three Dog Night. So here's another. I didn't realize we had 2 of them. The Police, Regatta de Blanc. We got 3 of them. Or we have 2 of them. Here's another one. This one looks just as nice as the first one we sold. Regatta de Blanc. $55 start. There's the original insert with lyrics. Really nice cover of Obi. Yeah, another really nice copy. This is the second one, and I promise you there's not another one. The Neil Young was Reactor. That's a $55 start. Joy to the World, Three Dog Night. This is their greatest hits. This one I cannot call near mint and pristine. I'm going to have to call it EX, which means it's in pretty darn good condition. This is going to be a $35 start. It's got all the great Three Dog Night songs on it. There's the original inner sleeve. There's the Japanese insert, multi-page with lyrics and pictures, and their discography. There's the cover with Obi. It's actually a gatefold. $35 start on Three Dog Night. $55 on the Police. John Young says give the Meet the Beatles to Gerard Cacciatore. So Gerard, you got Meet the Beatles. Heather Perry's going to go ahead and claim the White Album. The Jay Giles was Sanctuary. And John, I've got the Beatles to Gerard. I got it. Three Dog Nights at 55. Bids on both auctions. There's only 2, 4, 6 records left in this bin of check condition. James Brown sings and plays 22 giant hits. That was EX $27.99. I'm surprised it's in that good a condition. About a VG cover. Martha Reeves, Aaron Jolly, here's the other one. You got the other 2. This one's EX $27.99, Black Magic, original Gordy Motown. It's got a little bit of cover damage up here. Ringo Starr, Ringo, VG Plus $19.99 with the booklet. The Best of Blondie, Heart of Glass, Dreamin', Rapture, One Way or Another, I'm Gonna Get You, Call Me. That's a VG Plus $34.99. This album is not in print. You cannot order any kind of Blondie compilation, which is mind-blowing to me. That's something they definitely need to check into. I, Robot, Alan Parsons, $17.99 EX condition. And the Beatles, some of the greatest music they ever did. And yeah, I listened to this just the other night. Side 1 is Strawberry Fields, Penny Lane, Sgt. Pepper's, With a Little Help from My Friends, Lucy in the Sky, A Day in the Life, and All You Need Is Love. Wow. The Police, we already had a $55 bid with Fred Carnell, so Jason, technically you're out. Tony Shore has Three Dog Night, and Marshall Bassett wants Blondie. Yeah, the Blue Album, there's no telling how many times I've listened to that. All the Japanese presses we get in, they sound amazing. And Jason F., did you want a copy of Jeff Buckley? I'm not for sure if you confirm that with me, but let me know. Okay, I got 3 more crates of new arrivals left. I don't know really when I'm going to take a break. We still got, it's 10 o'clock, but we still got 160 people watching. What I might do is go through one more bin of new arrivals, then take a break, and maybe keep the other 2 for tomorrow night. And part 2, we can go through everything again, because there's a lot left over, new vinyl. I may even recap new vinyl if you missed early in the show before we end, so I can take waiting list, and I'm sure there's some stuff left you've got to sell, or some stuff left that would sell that you'd want. So let me grab one more crate of new arrivals. Tomorrow, John's going to start working on the collection I bought yesterday. We're going to have great new vintage arrivals all week. Right, Tanner? It's always good when I go and buy some collections. It's always some great stuff. Let's do another bin of check condition because this is once again loaded with some great titles. Loaded with some great classic rock and rock titles, check condition. Let's go ahead and go through this. I told John, I said, don't hold back on the check condition stuff. I said, I think our customers really like it. Most of it ends up turning out really nice. So, but yeah, we'll have a fun part 2. I don't know when we'll break. I don't know if it'll be in 15 minutes when this is done or we'll stop at 10:30. But we're definitely doing a part 2, and it will be worth watching because we'll do a recap. I may even consider some offers, but we really hadn't had too much high-price stuff tonight. That's probably why most of everything's sold. Let's go ahead and sell Three Dog Night to Tony Shore for $35. Jason Dobb is in on the police at $60. Jason Dobb is in on the police at $60. That means Fred Carnell, let me know if you're in or out. And I'm going to grab another Japanese record. And that's going to be, let's see, what's one I hadn't, let's do Cyndi Lauper. She's So Unusual, her classic album. Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual. This is going to be a $35 start. It's a near mint copy and shrink wrap. Near mint copy and shrink wrap, $35 start. I want to spend a week in store looking to check condition. It would take you a week to go through the first 20 feet of our back room probably if you want to do it thoroughly. That's what I'm going to start doing tonight. I'm going to start trying to... I've priced all the Murfreesboro stuff. All that's gone. So I can either work on cassettes or more vintage arrivals to add to our shows all week. I'm probably going to do a little bit of both. I'm probably going to work on 45s, cassettes, and vintage records at night all week. So we have some people dying to see the cassettes we have in the back, and they're amazing. We got metal, we got punk, we got great classic rock. I got the entire Beatles collection set. Very cool stuff. All from that very famous Bowling Green collection. This is all check condition stuff. From the Witchwood Straubs. I don't think I've ever seen that Straubs album. From the Witchwood. That's EX 1799. Once again, thank you, Chris DeMoss, for this zero sugar, very tasty monster. I hope there's another cold one in the fridge. I'm going to drink it. That's one of the most delicious monsters I've ever had. Jackson Brown, EX 1299. Late for the Sky. EX copy and shrink wrap, $12.99. Running on Empty, VG Plus, $9.99. Original inner sleeve and the booklet. That's a great live album, Running on Empty. Just so you know, when you hear Running on Empty, the one that's on Forrest Gump, the one you've heard on the radio for the last 50 years, that's a live album. That's a live cut that's from this album. That's not a studio track. Roxy Music is EX 2299. This is Roxy Music self-titled on the Reprise label, EX condition, $22.99. Bruce Springsteen. I've started listening to more of his music this week. I've got to be honest, I've never really listened to his discography. I started with Born in the USA, and I've listened to Greedy from Asbury Park multiple times, just test playing them. But yeah, I'm finally getting into his music. It's as many as I've sold, I probably should. So, Ohio Players, Honey. Ohio Players is EX copy, $17.99. The Moody Blues, A Question of Balance, VG Plus, $9.99. John Cale, Paris, 1919. EX copy, $59.99. John Cale, Paris, 1919. EX copy, $59.99. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sell The Police to Jason Dobb for $60. If anybody wants Cyndi Lauper, it's a $35 buy it now. That's the only thing so far that has not sold unless somebody buys it right now. That has Time After Time on it, and she, or not she, just wants to have fun. The name of the album, She's So Unusual. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That's on there. And the only other thing that did not sell earlier tonight is this near mint pristine copy of Chicago 16. That's also a $35 buy it now. Sell me some cassettes. I will this week, I promise. Did you run across? No. REO The Hits is out of print. I cannot get that album. I have them back ordered, but we never know when we're going to get them. John Porter was first to Jackson Brown. John Porter, let me know if you want Running on Empty or Late for the Sky. John Porter, your pick on those. John Ambrosic is next on Running on Empty. And looks like Chip Hall, it was third maybe. He says in both. I bet he meant JB both. Jared DeJagger, first on Moody Blues. Moody Blues. That's sold to Jared DeJagger. Fred Carnell wants the Cyndi Lauper for a $35 buy it now. That's sold to Fred Carnell. The two, John Porter, this was EX $12.99, and Running on Empty was a VG Plus $9.99. I have a feeling he'll take both of those. Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down, EX copy $12.99. No Sweat, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, EX copy $14.99. The Best of the Scorpions, the vinyl is VG. The vinyl is VG, $19.99. John Porter takes both the Jackson Browns. Stephen Chesney first on Lionel Richie. That's sold to Stephen Chesney. Deep Purple with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. There's a lot of people always asking about this. It's a VG Plus copy. This is a UK press. VG Plus on the vinyl. Has some noticeable scuffs here. Definitely non-feelers, but that is a VG Plus, $19.99. Stephen Chesney got Lionel Richie. Wayne Carr first to the Scorpions. Jimmy, the John Cale was called Paris, 1919. It's an EX condition, $59.99, 1973. It's got some noticeable, looks like scuffs or needle drops on it. EX, $59.99. Patti Smith, Horses, also EX. This is a 1975 OG PRC press, $49.99. Patti Smith Horses, EX $49.99. John Duran, you were second on the Scorpions. The Band is EX $29.99. The Band is EX $29.99. The Band Stage Fright, VG Plus $24.99. VG Plus $24. We have The Band and The Band Stage Fright. Rod Stewart Smiler, EX $17.99 on Rod Stewart Smiler. Let me grab two new Japanese pressings. I've got, let's do the other Three Dog Night, which is this awesome, like, compilation binder style. And let's do The Song Remains the Same. We got a nice copy of The Song Remains the Same Japanese press. It just doesn't have an obi. So if you're looking for a clean copy, maybe on a little bit of a cheaper budget, this might be what you're looking for. This is an awesome Three Dog Night compilation. It's in this huge, like, textured book binder. It's Three Dog Night. I'm pretty sure it's it's golden disc. This is a compilation. It includes this Japanese booklet, Joy to the World, Old Fashioned Love Song, Liar. Let's see here. Mama Told Me Not to Come. Celebrate. Yep, I mean, it's got all the hits on it. Kind of opens up in book binder style. So 2 LPs, that's a $35 start. Three Dog Night, $35 start. That's near mint. Cover, obi, inserts. $35 start on Three Dog Night. And here's the Led Zeppelin. This is a Japanese press. Japanese press really has no signs of wear on it. Japanese insert. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. And I'll do this one for a $45 start. $45 start. Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same. $45. That is a near mint Japanese press. No obi. Has the inserts, nice cover, etc. Three Dog Night is at $35. Bee Gees, 2 years on. The Bee Gees is a VG copy. The Bee Gees are always VG. VG Bee Gees. That's $9.99. Parallel Lines, the classic Blondie album. EX, $47.99. EX, $47.99. Blondie, Parallel Lines. The FM soundtrack. VG Plus $19.99. Elton John Friend soundtrack. EX $17.99. Miss Butters, The Family Tree. Miss Butters, The Family Tree. That's a VG Plus $24.99. Steppenwolf Gold, Their Greatest Hits. A VG copy for $9.99. Steppenwolf Gold, Their Greatest Hits. VG $9.99. REO Speedwagon, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. VG Plus $14.99. ELO Discovery is a VG Plus $14.99. Three Dog Dot, $35. Patrick Lear, first on FM. The FM soundtrack sold to Patrick Lear. That's a good one. Jared's at $45 on Led Zeppelin. Richard, you came in second. Jared's in first. Is Roxy Music a gatefold? Derek Clark, yes it is. Roxy Music is a gatefold. EX condition, $22.99. Brian C., you were second on FM. John Porter was first to Steppenwolf. Richard's back in on Led Zeppelin at $46. Three Dog Night's now at $40. Emerson, Lake and Palmer Trilogy EX copy $17.99. REO Speedwagon, A Decade of Rock and Roll, 1970 to 1980. Really good REO Speedwagon comp. VG Plus $29.99. A Decade of Rock and Roll, 70 to 80. Malice in Wonderland, Pace, Ashton, and Lord. That's Ian Pace, John Lord, and Ashton's first name is Tony. Yeah, Tony Ashton, vocals and keyboards. EX $17.99. Heart, Dog and Butterfly is a VG Plus $14.99. Heart, Dog and Butterfly. And Paul Simon, Still Crazy After All These Years. EX copy $17.99. Three Dog Night 40. Gerard is back in at 41. Rosie Taylor says she wants the REO. There you go. I don't have REO Speedwagon the hits, but you just got that one, Rosie. That one sold to you. Led Zeppelin. Patty is at 48 on the Led Zeppelin. John Porter first on Heart. Chip Hall was second. Michael Nath back in on Three Dog Night at 42. Condition of Blondie cover. The Blondie cover appeared to be really nice, except for this one corner ding. It does look like it's got a corner ding. Nice spine, nice front cover. Yeah, really that corner ding's the only flaw. It does have the original inner sleeve, and it's EX. I see one mark right there. That's probably what made it EX. Looks like a needle drop, which is probably something on the surface that really don't affect how the needle gets down in the grooves. Usually that's a surface mark. Three Dog Night 42. Led Zeppelin's at 50. Phil Collins, No Jacket Required, VG Plus $14.99. Phil Collins, Hello, I Must Be Going, EX $17.99. Styx, Pieces of 8, EX $17.99. Renegades. Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits, VG Plus $24.99. We've sold 2 Steve Miller Band solo albums tonight. Here's all of his stuff in one classic packaging. VG Plus $24.99. Flashdance, the Flashdance soundtrack is a VG copy, $9.99. Urban Cowboy soundtrack, I don't think I've seen one of those in a while. EX copy, $17.99. Jimmy Buffett, Charlie Daniels, The Eagles, Boz Scaggs, great stuff on that. And the Grease soundtrack. I hadn't seen one of those in a while to be such a big seller. EX $17.99. So Zeppelin 50, Three Dog Night 45, Zeppelin 52, Kelly LaFotte, first on Styx, Pieces of 8. Ron Stoltz wants both of the Phil Collins. That's always a good decision. Susie, first on Steve Miller Band. Michelle Phillips, first on Flashdance. Three Dog Nights at 48. Brandon Lack, first on Urban Cowboy. Brian, we just sold it. Richard's out on Led Zeppelin. Alice, you were second on Flashdance. John Porter, first to Grease. Carlene was second. Last 2 in here. Heart, Babe Lestrange is an EX copy for $14.99. And Georgia Satellites. The Georgia Satellites is VG Plus $24.99. That one's called Open All Night. Gerard's out on Three Dog Night. Michael Nath has the Three Dog Night 2LP gatefold book style packaging for $48. Michael Nath has that for $48. Gerard is now the high bidder on the Led Zeppelin, and that is at $55. This is a Japanese press, and for those that don't know, 9 times out of 10, these Japanese pressings are a higher quality, or they're almost always a higher quality when it comes to the artwork, the cover, the jacket, the vinyl quality. And this has no obi, which if it did, we usually start them a lot higher, sometimes as high as 75 or 80. No obi on that one. High bid is $55 with Jared the Jagger. Rosie Taylor was first on Heart. Brian C. was next. Fred, you're going to bed awfully early. 10:13. We're going to be on here for 4 more hours. Right, Tanner? Tanner said maybe. You never know. We might go to 2 a.m. tonight as much as we have. I'm going to read through these titles one more time. If anybody wants a price, let me know. I'm going to tell you the price and the condition. This is the second time going through this check condition bin. Final call on Three Dog Night, which is $48 with Michael Nath. From the Witchwood Straub, somebody said Rick Wakeman from Yes may be on this one. He is. Rick Wakeman from Yes. And Richard Hudson sounds very familiar. I bet that's not... Well, if he's playing the keyboards or the piano on anything, you know it's going to be good. I think Rick Wakeman's one of the greatest keyboardists ever. Have you ever listened to Yes before? Straub's, Roxy Music, Bruce Springsteen, The Ohio Players Honey. Doc Smith, the Ohio Players is an EX copy. EX for $17.99. They're still bidding on Led Zeppelin. We got 57 with Patty. Jared's back in at 60. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Deep Purple. John Cale. Patti Smith Horses. The band self-titled. The band Stage Fright. Rod Stewart Smiler. Bee Gees 2 Years On. Elton John Friends. Miss Butters, The Family Tree. This is not a bad REO Speedwagon studio album. This is a VG Plus, $14.99. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. This has, well, if I can get it back in its house. Well, never mind, John Porter wants it. That's sold to John Porter. How much was the Straubs? The Straubs was EX $17.99. ELO Discovery, VG Plus $14.99. Surprised that's still there. Emerson, Lake and Palmer Trilogy. That's a great album, $17.99. Pace, Ashton and Lord, EX $17.99. Paul Simon was $17.99. Blondie is still available. EX Condition, $47.99. And this is Georgia Satellites, Open All Night, VG Plus $14.99. Michael Naft gets the Three Dog Night Japanese pressing for a grand total of $48. That's sold to Michael Naft, just to confirm that. That's sold to Michael Naft for $48. And the high bid on Led Zeppelin is Jared the Jagger at $60. Who else is bidding? Patty, if you decide you're done bidding, say Led Zeppelin out, and I'm going to go ahead and sell that to him. Doc Smith wants the ELO. Doc Smith wants the ELO. Derek Clark says he'll take Roxy Music as well as the 3 Mott the Hooples from earlier, okay? I actually will probably can pull those because I'm about to do some condensing. I'm going to see what's over here in these other crates right quick, and I'm going to do some condensing. Patty's out on Led Zeppelin. Final call on Led Zeppelin. Jared the Jagger has that for $60. And I've already went through these twice. Let me pull Roxy Music, though, first for Derek. Let me pull Roxy Music first for Derek. Roxy Music is sold to Derek. Okay, let me do a little bit of condensing here. I've went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've went through 10 crates tonight already. 10 crates. We've went through. That was our 10th crate. I knew I felt like I was moving along pretty fast. So that's what's left in there. I'm going to put those in there from the leftover. We're going to have a bunch of empty crates for sure, which is a good thing. Here's the leftovers from the crate before. Don't see last week's invoice in my email. Okay, send us a message if you've checked your email, not your email, whatever that is. If you've checked your email and you haven't got a invoice, send us a message and we'll try to make sure we have your right email. And I guess, is that what we're doing, Tanner? Tanner's in charge of that, so.
Well, I didn't send his their email. I sent a message.
Austin, your invoice is in your messenger. Oh, that's right. Gloria wanted this Beatles. I didn't pull it from the last crate. Gloria wanted that. Okay, I don't think those Mott the Hooples are in here. I'm about to end Led Zeppelin. I've got that crate about as full as I can get it. Let me go through a little bit of these over here and figure out what I've got. Give me a second, everybody, as I do a little bit of house cleaning, trying to get a few things condensed and organized. I'm trying to get the first crate. Here's the Mott the Hooples. Which 3 did he say he wanted? He wants, let's see, he wants Rock and Roll Queen, Wildlife, and the Brain Capers. So those are Derek Clark's. Let's see, there's Brain Capers, there's Wildlife, and Rock and Roll Queen was from the first. All right, so those are all sold. There's the other 3 Derek Clark wanted. Gloria got the Beatles. Let's go ahead and sell Led Zeppelin to Jared the Jagger for $60. Jared the Jagger wants that for $60. And Straubs. I think somebody already claimed that, didn't they? Didn't somebody claim the Straubs? No, somebody asked the price. So Scott Snee is sold on the Straubs. Now, let me condense. Is this the first crate we went through or the second? That's one of the first crates we went through. I think the very first one, there couldn't be much left. I think, yeah, that was the very first crate we went through. So let me put these in the front. Keep me organized on what I've been through first. Okay, there's that. And let me put these here. So that was the very first crate we went through. Let me take this off the table. Give me 1 second. My house cleaning's almost done. Let me put that there. I'll go through that one either here in just a second or the first part of part 2. And this was our first crate of new vinyl, I believe. Yeah, let me put some of these in here. I like the gray crate. I think it shows it better on camera. Okay, what I usually do is recap, especially for some of the stuff we have waiting list for. I may remind people of a few things. Here's some of our new vinyl. We sold a ton. By the way, cherry pies are in. I need to grab at least 1 or 2 of those so I can show them again. Wherever those are at. We have probably 100 left. So, very quickly, here's some of tonight's newest new vinyl arrivals. We have The Cult, Love, my last 2 copies. The Cult, that's the name of the band. The name of the album's Love. This is on black vinyl, gatefold. We've been waiting for these forever to finally be in stock. $31.99 for The Cult Love. We got Overkill, Under the Influence. That's on yellow marbled vinyl. If you've missed out on those, I've got 1, maybe 2 left. That's a restock for $34.99. Pussifer, Conditions of My Parole, $41.99 for Pussifer. Tool related, if you didn't already know that. System of a Down, Mesmerize is $28.99. System of a Down, Mesmerize, $28.99. Iron Maiden Killers, $36.99. Great White Recover, that's on red and white vinyl, $31.99 on Great White Recover. Kiss, Alive, Kiss is $49.99. Kiss, Alive, $49.99. That's the 2014 remaster. Queen, News of the World, $33.99 for Queen, News of the World. I've got 2 copies left of the Fishbone, Truth and Soul. This is a new release from Music on Vinyl. 35th anniversary, 1000, red vinyl, $44.99. That's a new release. And if you think you're on the pre-order, please ask, because I do have a pre-order for Fishbone. I can read off those names. If you don't think you're on it, then you might want to go ahead and claim one, because I've only got 2. Alice Lowry on System of a Down. That's sold to Alice Lowry. Both Fishbones are sold, Craig Thomas and Tony Shore. And then the new big release is Warrant, Cherry Pie. These are, I should have had it on screen all night so people could see it. These are $44.99. They're numbered and limited. This is the second batch of these that's come in. They've pressed another 3,000 on colored vinyl. The other ones sold out. We were just recently selling them for $80. I just sold one on eBay for $80 not too long ago. When these go out of print or when these go out of stock, they'll be for the same price. So once again, if you don't have it, or if you put some stuff up for keepsakes, not a bad thing to put up. I promise you, before long, these will be, the other ones probably still are, because they're the first Music on Vinyl press. They'll be they're $44.99 now. Discogs, $79.99. eBay, $89.99. We actually got 200 of these. We got 200 of these. We have 100 left because we've pre-sold almost 100. I've got 200 more coming next week. So I'll actually end up getting 400 of the 3,000. Leonard Skinner, Second Helping, $31.99. This is a different color. This is on cherry red, which is almost like a hot pink. The other one was on gold and black swirl. That's a different color. So the first one was one color, limited to 3,000. That's another color. I'd say if they do press these again, they'll do them on black vinyl. I say they'll press them again on black vinyl. It'll have a normal Music on Vinyl sticker, and it will be an unlimited version. However, they could have a contract with Warrant and their label, and they may only be making like 9,000. They may do one more. They may do one more pressing on colored. I don't really know. So we've got plenty. Just my suggestion, you might want to grab it, because every Warrant album we've had, as soon as we've sold out, they've doubled and tripled in price. And we've got double and triple sticker price on a lot of them. Leonard Skinner, this is Icon, 2LP Greatest Hits, $29.99. David Tate wants, I don't have these in hand, but David Tate wants a cherry pie, and so does Tony Shore. Kiss Destroyer, $36.99. Kiss Destroyer, $36.99. Exodus is $44.99. Shovel-headed Tour Machine live at Wacken, $44.99 for Exodus. Got several Pink Floyd Division Bells in, $49.99, and we finally have in stock, well, before that, let me show Anthrax. One copy left of Anthrax, $33.99. This is Anthrax Fistful of Metal. That's the 4 10-inch on yellow vinyl, $33.99. And Rush, finally, have these where you can claim them live. Rush, self-titled, is $59.99. That's 200-gram LP. It's got a poster, a Rush family tree, and it's got 3 photo inserts and maybe one other piece of memorabilia. That comes as a box set, really well made. I did an unboxing video for that, $59.99. And I guess the other thing, I feel like we sold out of something else that was really big, but I don't know. We'll just wait on that. So, Soundgarden. Oh yeah, down on the upside. I didn't even show that because we don't even have enough for the pre-claim. So hopefully they come in. Here's the schedule for the rest of the night. We're gonna stop. I've got to get some food. I'm on like a time diet, so I've got to eat between like now and 11:30 so I can eat again tomorrow at a certain time. So we're going to break there. I do have 2 more crates of new vintage arrivals. I have not looked through them. During the break, I'll look through them. I'll decide if I want to go through those tonight during part 2 or if I want to go through them and save them for tomorrow night. If we don't go through them during part 2, the hour we're left for tomorrow or for tonight between 11 and midnight, we either go back through everything again tonight or we'll start doing 50% off vintage. So we'll do some 50% off vintage. Probably, definitely do that, but for sure, or maybe we go through some new arrivals. I still have 2 more crates of new vintage arrivals. So, or we'll go through a crate from a few weeks ago and do buy it now best offer, where y'all can make offers on really good titles that didn't sell the first time around. So that's where we'll stop. We'll be back in 30 minutes. That's at 10 o'clock Central Time. Thanks for watching. If you're not coming back, come back and see us again tomorrow. We've had an awesome show so far because we've bought some new collections. With new collections come new great vintage arrivals. So thanks. We'll be back in about a half hour. Come back and see us then.